Hello and welcome to Never a Foul. Let me start by saying, Daps, do you like to be up there or you like to be
I
down?
don't mind. Wherever you want, mate. I don't mind.
No, it's a preference, I know. But anyway, people.
I've just seen Jack Napp. Hold on. Jack, I swear, never gonna give you up, never gonna say goodbye. Who is that? Isn't that who sung that? How the hell does Jack Napier know that song?
I don't know. Maybe he's older than what we think. Maybe he is. But
what song is it? Never gonna give you. I swear it's Rick Astley or something. That's an 80s song. Jack Napier is definitely 12 years old. It is Rick Astley. It's Rick Astley. Yeah. How the hell does Jack Napier know Rick Astley?
Everyone knows that song, though.
Yeah, bro.
It even comes up on adverts.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But anybody, people,
are you live?
Please first. We got more than 50 people already. Hit that like button.
Look at Cass wearing City colours.
It's more like a berry color, but anyone that don't know,
How is football?
The streets know now. I played like Zinchenko at the Molyneux, so what can I say? Got an assist, dictated the game.
Hey, and this is the thing. This is how arrogant this fucker is. Yeah, he knew I had spies out watching him, and I was waiting for the spies to come back and tell me was he good or not. This arrogant ass is in the group chat going dictated the game, and then when I was like, you're arrogant. It was like, see, you don't want to congratulate me. I said, if someone told me you were good, I would have congratulated you. You're arrogant. Like, you're arrogant.
Look, when it comes to football, there's egos. Big up anyone else about to call in. I saw a couple, man. Wait, I think Sean's in the background and all that. I big up everyone. Look, I'm knackered.
So basically, what Cass is doing, he's coming on here to try and get props that he played well at football today.
I just want, you know what it is? I wouldn't be like this if Daps just said, you know what?
Isn't there footage coming out, though?
Probably, yeah. I would have.
Look, he even got a toothpick in his mouth today. That's how arrogant he is. He thinks he's fucking Razor Ramon.
I went Nando's, didn't it? What? I just accept.
Sorry, we had some of your chocolate. They've had loads of your chocolate.
That's fine. The chocolate's replaceable. You know what's not replaceable right now? The win for Upload United. You get me against the Wolves a lot. So
you're gonna win tomorrow, Cass?
Oh yeah, definitely. So I'm gonna have a great weekend, Mo.
Anyway, you can call in if you want to talk to us anymore because we need to get on with it. Come on.
I can call in, innit?
Call in.
I'm a member, so I get?
Yeah, you get. As a member, you get to call in, and you'll get to jump the queue.
He's a member. But listen, people, you haven't hit that like button yet. We're not even on 50 likes yet. This is a call-in show. The link is pinned in the description, and it's pinned in the comment section as well. You can just click that link, and you will be here with us. You can talk about whatever you want, as long as it is appropriate, of course.
Ideally have your cameras on, people, as well, if possible.
Yes, please have if you have camera, we would love it, of course. But one more thing, we're gonna start by absolutely talking about the FA Cup. Here you go. Here you go.
Yeah, let me sit down. I've got about 6% on my phone.
Hold on, right. So, Mo, you're going to have to... Cass, listen, we've got members waiting backstage, right?
I'm an owner. I think I get priority.
That's fine. Lovely. That's a lovely house you're in, by the way.
I've only got about 2 minutes. I've got about 2 minutes. Okay. Can you not hear me all right, yeah?
Yeah, we can
yeah, 100%. Have your say.
What would you like to speak about today, Cass?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about my performance, man. It was unreal, man. Dictatorship stuff, you know? So...
so you're into dictatorship, are you? You're into dictating?
Yeah, why not? Call me Kim Jong-un,
I heard you're into dictating, not dictating.
Okay. I don't want to do that. There's kids over there in the garden, but anyways. I hope everyone's all right though, innit? I hope you lot had a good day. It's actually been a nice day if anyone's spent out in the UK today. So but yeah, man, I've enjoyed it. It was good. It was good. Like Wolves fan cast, all I'm gonna say, Little Dan, all the Wolves people that do all the Wolves crap with 30k subs, 10k subs, got battered. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Luckily, Monts didn't even get a hat trick, but is what it is. Look.
Is there footage coming out?
I hope so. I heard there's gonna be some highlights, like a 40-minute highlights thing come out, so or half an hour, something like that. I'm not too sure when, but anyone that watched me, just yeah, man, couldn't get near me. It's cool.
Well, salute to you, Cap.
Play in the league, to be honest.
Nah, I had 0% fitness.
Actually, how long did you last?
Pause. 55 minutes till this guy absolutely crunched. I got past this guy, he tried to tackle me, and he literally lamped right on top of my foot with studs. And it was just like, after that, it was just her. And I said, you know what, I'll just come on for 5 minutes. Why not?
Oh, what? Then went back on?
No, it was 5 minutes left. So I had like 5 minutes. It was obviously only an hour game. I'm not going to lie. It's like, I was knackered.
Well, at least
I was actually knackered.
At least
man.
went. Yeah, for real.
But, you got the trophy.
Huh?
So we got the trophy as well until next year. Maybe there might be some never foul, stuff next year that you could organise.
I'm going to be the manager, but more importantly, instead we move on from talking about Cass's trophy.
I think it's more interesting than the game tomorrow. Keep going. Well, I'm enjoying this conversation.
Monts was, I can't lie, Monts was killing. Me and Monts were down the left-hand side. And I just feeding Monts with this other guy called Scotty. Like, we were just killing it. First half, they were getting murdered. I can't lie.
Was this a YouTube game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did you have Boots there?
Who? Boots and not. I've been involved with TikTokers, man.
Because they had a game. They had a game down. I thought they had a game down in London. Boots and other.
Oh guys. Yeah, they had their own separate thing in it. Luckily, I didn't have that as well because would have dictated that as well. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, let people come in and do their thing. I'm going to sleep, or I'm gonna go rest. So in a bit.
Good luck, Jack. And Jack.
Okay, let me just say something about Jack Napier.
Keep entertaining. Just keep entertaining the comments, please do.
Jack, whatever you want to comment, my friend, I'm gonna put your comment. Okay, hear me out, Jack. If you want to put your comment, if you super chat, I'm gonna put your comment as long as it's appropriate. Here it is. Your super chats are appreciated. It's appropriate. I'm going to put them on the screen. Jack Napier. I'm not going to ban you. I'm not going to block you. You want to have a comment on the screen? Super chats are appreciated. But people, we're in for the first caller, of course. We know who it is. If he is here, he's going to show his camera. He's always here with us. First caller, of course. And it's Sid, of course. And then after this, we have the queue is not long now. If you want to call in, hit that, of course, that link. It's in the description and it is in the comment section, pinned right up there. The second caller, someone, the Haliwa. I think that's the right name, but that's after Sid. But Sid, how are you? Caicedo,
I'm fine.
Anogati, and another midfielder. Oh my God, you're competing for the league.
No. We are still off the league because we can say that we can compete for the league after this season, showing the progress we see in this season. Like if we reach top 4, then challenging for the league should be minimum because the amount we have spent is crazy and the amount we are going to spend also.
But also the amount you're going to bring in potentially as well.
Yeah, it's looking good. Like they are trying to balance the books nicely because the players they are going to sell is going to generate a lot of fund, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like Mount, Gallagher, and
Kovacic.
I heard rumors about Kovacic, Chalaba. But
the maddest one I've just heard is Havertz to Real Madrid.
I don't know what Real
Madrid
the
Real Madrid seen that we haven't.
Yeah, I was also
is that
the
true?
same.
Is it true?
Yeah, Fabrizio just confirmed that they have interest in him, and I am happy. If they buy him for 50, I am happy.
Is that what they're 50 million for Havertz? Wow. Do you know what? Yeah. Honestly, I think if you got 50 million for Havertz and got Havertz out of Chelsea, I think that would probably be the best bit of summer business you could do. To get 50 million for him.
Because after 3 seasons also, his finishing is atrocious. He's not able to finish. He's not able to dictate games or not even play well. The last game that I remember that he dominated in some kind of way was Real Madrid in 2021.
Yeah, I'm intrigued at what Real Madrid see in him.
I don't know. It's like that performance against them or... the same type of performance against them in 2022 where we just lost by a goal.
So, I mean, so what are they? Surely they're not seeing him as the Benzima short-term replacement. Surely not. Mo, have you seen anything on Havertz?
Yes, he is in talks with Real Madrid. He isn't expensive.
50 million.
The thing that you guys don't know that Havertz was really good, and he's only 23 years old. Havertz before joining Chelsea was really good. Timo Werner was really good. Hakim Ziyech was so good. There's a lot of players before joining Chelsea. I would not judge players on that Chelsea spell, even under Lampard, Tuchel, and even under whoever coach, who coached the Potter after, and then Lampard. I cannot judge Kai Havertz. There has to be a reason. Every coach is playing him as a starter, but he's not. But he's not. He doesn't have any output. It's absolutely I don't think that it's actually reflective of how good he is. I was watching this guy 3 years ago before he was joining Chelsea, and I thought this guy would be a world beater.
See, it's about everyone is giving reasons like he's not playing in this position, he's not playing with that player, he's not playing with this player. So it's lot of if when he's playing. So I don't think it's good for Chelsea to keep him. If we are rebuilding, then if we are getting an offer from Real Madrid, we should accept that. Yeah. Because we have Nkunku coming, and he's also a same type of player in my opinion. So
they're completely kind of Havertz is more intelligent than Nkunku. Nkunku is more
but
technical,
what you mean is, but at the same time, you're probably thinking similar positions.
Just got the golden boot in Bundesliga.
Yeah, but so that's why Havertz is a different player. You might that's what I'm saying.
Bro,
Havertz doesn't score a lot of goals.
We are saying this for 3 seasons. When was the last time you saw a good assist from Harvard?
I'm not sure, but to be honest, when I watched Kai Havertz, he was good before joining Chelsea.
Before in Bayer Leverkusen, he was good, but now I don't think it's time. If we are rebuilding, we need to get him away, in my opinion, because we are selling Pulisic, Ziyech, Harvard now. It's good for us.
Yeah. I how do you feel about Kovacic going?
See, I don't have problem with Kovacic going because he was not happy staying here after Thomas Tuchel was sacked. He was not happy with that. So he was not playing for the manager or the club, in my opinion. His performance were very poor. So I think if he wants a new challenge, then it's all right because he helped us winning many titles like Europa League, Champions League, Super Cup, Club World Cup, everything. So I think it's time for him to go.
Yeah, and from my side, I'm happy with the Kovacic signing. I'm not gonna lie.
He would thrive in that because
yeah,
he would thrive in that because his ball carrying and close control is very good.
Yeah,
he can run with the ball very nicely. And even if Bayern is also coming with the ties with Tuchel, then also it's good because both of the teams, the price is not that high. The price is around 30 million.
Yeah.
So I think it would be a smart buy.
Yeah, I think so. I think people are saying, because I know it's come out today, Gundogan's apparently keen on a Barca move, 3-year contract, whereas City are only offering him 1. And people are thinking that Kovacic is a Gundogan replacement. I actually don't think he is. I think Kovacic is more of a Bernardo Silva replacement.
Bernardo Silva replacement.
Yeah, and he's not as good as Bernardo Silva. Let me be very clear. He's not as good as Bernardo.
But it's like a short-term replacement where you can develop a good youngster or mold in someone to play that role, like Foden playing that role.
Exactly. I think it might be a bit of a sign that maybe Pep doesn't want to move Foden deep just yet. So Kovacic could come in and be that replacement, and then.
It's like a Shrug signing like Akanji, because you signed Akanji, no one thought he is going to be that good. And it's a smart sign in my opinion.
Yeah. All right, well, how do you feel about Daniel? I know you and many other City fans keep saying Bernardo Silva is not leaving. I'm not saying Bernardo Silva is leaving, right? What I am
But
saying
there
is
is a
that Kovacic.
possibility.
What I am saying is that Kovacic is more of a Bernardo type player than he is a Gundogan type player. What I am
Yeah.
saying is Bernardo Silva the last 2 summers has wanted to leave. Yeah, we can try and deny that, but it's the truth. He has wanted to leave. Now, the truth of the matter also is that someone needs to come in with an offer for him, right? And we haven't had an offer for him. Gundogan is on a free. So I'm not saying Bernardo Silva is going to leave, but with the signing of Kovacic, unless someone can tell me that they have an interview with Bernardo Silva where Bernardo Silva has said, I no longer want to leave Manchester City, we have to kind of put 2 and 2 together and think Bernardo might leave this summer, yeah? And I think even more so, if I'm being completely 100 with you, if we win the Champions League, which I think we will, I think Bernardo Silva even more has a reason to leave because he's done everything he wants to at this club. He's brought us, he's brought us to the Holy Grail. And I said in January that if we got another 5 months of prime Bernardo Silva, I'd drive him to the airport. If he wants to go, then we got to let him go.
Yeah, Pep never forces a player to stay.
No.
Also,
And I think he stayed for 2 years, but the key to the Bernardo Silva move is someone needs to offer some money for him, right?
PSG is going to come for him, in my opinion.
Well, but then that one I'm not sure about. Now I've got a little trick up my sleeve, right? And last summer I wasn't really too sure why we never got linked with him, but a certain club in Spain, look, Gundogan's out of our control. He's on a free. But we've heard that same club in Spain want Laporte, Cancelo, and Bernardo Silva. Now, if Kovacic replaces Bernardo Silva and Gundogan does decide to leave, then we need a Gundogan replacement. I'd take De Jong all day long as a Gundogan replacement, and it would piss them lot off so much as well. It would piss Cass off so much. So, but last one, how do you feel about Mason Mount?
I have no problem with him leaving. If he would have stayed, then also I would not have that problem. But if he is leaving, then I'm okay with, because he's.
Did we just lose Sid?
He's back, I think, but he's not moving. There he is. He's back.
Am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah. So I'm saying that I don't have any problem with Mount leaving because he's going to generate 60 million. And if you ask me who is a better option for us, Caicedo or Mount, I would say Caicedo, because this is what we need. And if Mount leaves and we get Caicedo for approx the same amount, like adding 20 odd million, then I think it's a good deal.
It's not happening. It's not happening.
Why not?
You're not gonna sell Mason Mount for 70 and get Caicedo for 85 or 90 million. That's not gonna happen. Mason Mount, Man United are not gonna pay you more than 50. It's not gonna pay you more than 50 million pounds. All in all.
I think we will get around.
All these reports are wrong.
Million.
You're not. You're gonna get him with bonuses if they win the league or something.
Because,
you're gonna get him 50 million. Listen to me. What you hear from the Chelsea reporters are the total package. The total package isn't actually what gets paid. What I mean is that they're going to give you 50 million. Normally, they put 10 million if they win the league, if they go to the semi-final of the Champions League. That doesn't count because Man United might not win the league. That's not how. They're not going to give you upfront 60 million pounds for Mason Mount. If Man United do this, they're idiots. They're stupid. They're idiots. Everybody should get fired at that club.
I mean, to be fair, they are stupid idiots. They are stupid idiots.
I get what you're saying. But the thing about it, every single reporter that says 60, 70 million pounds is a Chelsea reporter. It's someone that is linked, that is, that covered Chelsea. Everybody else doesn't say that. That's my problem. I know what you hear. You are like, the Barcelona fans that keep saying, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. It's all their newspapers, the reporters that gets fed by the club. If Man United pay 60 million for Mason Mount, they're idiots. And you guys know that. And Chelsea fans don't want to say it. Do you think Mason Mount at this moment is worth more than 50 million pounds? Is that exactly? And they're not idiots.
But if they are paying, we are not going to say no.
Who says they are paying? The thing about it is that you are asking, okay, the difference is when Arsenal went for Caicedo, they weren't in the what I mean. They weren't. How do you say it? Like they weren't holding the cards. It was Brighton holding the cards. They didn't have to sell the guy. West Ham, they don't have to sell Declan Rice. You have to sell Mason Mount. That's the difference. They have the upper hand. Man United, the people that will come for Man, and how many teams are in for Mason Mount? Tell me, how many teams are in for Mason Mount?
I think currently it's Man United. Before it
exactly.
was Liverpool.
There's only one
Arsenal
team.
Also.
There's only one team that is serious about Man. You have to sell the guy. You think they're gonna go and give you 60 million pound up front for Mason Mount?
No,
I'm not sure.
Don't said upfront. I think upfront would be around 50 million, and then it will be bonus, in my opinion.
I actually
and
think
we
it
are
will
also
be four.
not going to pay.
I'm telling
we
you
are
now.
also not
Now,
going to pay upfront 80 million for Caicedo. We are also
but
not going to pay
but
upfront.
I'm sorry. The difference is, Sid, if you don't pay 80 million for Caicedo, there are like 5 other teams that will pay willingly 80 million for Caicedo. That's the difference. This is what Chelsea fans, I get it. What you guys want to spend money, want to get rid of players. You guys are valuing Loftus-Cheek. Like how much? Like you guys like think that
20
I know he's
million.
going for exactly. You guys are valuing Chalobah at 25 million pounds.
So he's worth that. He's not worth.
Maybe.
Because you are telling from an interzone, because you are not going to spend that much. That's why you think that it's not worth it. But you see teams like Nottingham Forest, left, right, and center spending the money. Other teams also spending the money. So Chalobah is not a bad shout for 25 million if it is quoted.
Let me ask everybody in the chat. Sid.
Good point.
Everybody in the chat now. I want you to put a number, a realistic number of how much you think Mason Mount is worth at this current market now.
This is bad from you.
Everybody, Chelsea fans. I want realistically people to tell me in the chat now how much Mason Mount is worth.
Hold on. Have you just said you'd like the YouTube live chat to be realistic?
Maybe.
Well,
I said it.
Yeah, you go on, people. Spam the chat with whatever numbers you think Mason Mount is worth. This is going to be mad.
I think
there's going to be
who's
going to come in with 8 million.
Anyway, Sid,
we'll give you Calvin Phillips for him.
Give me a last point because we got to get to other callers because there's a line.
No, I'm done. Yeah. I just hope City win tomorrow.
So do
I. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he?
I don't want United to win anything.
I see your point, Daps. Yeah, why wouldn't he? He doesn't care. Yeah, he won.
No, because look, me and Sid talk a lot on Instagram, right? Sid was one of the first Chelsea fans to go out on loan this season, right?
Yeah.
He was
Before
actually
Enzo signed, it was around 13th January. I signed the loan deal to Manchester City.
Sid really hates Arsenal, right? Really hates Arsenal, yeah.
Daps, can you tell me how much they paid for Raheem Sterling? How much they paid
45, I believe.
45.
Okay. 45. So if Raheem Sterling is worth 45 after scoring all these goals and and he had 1 year left, why Mason? I'm seeing, to be honest, thank you everybody in the chat. You guys said exactly what we thought. I'm saying between 40 and 50. And actually people didn't say mad numbers. Everybody said about right, 40 to 50.
Yeah.
Which is what everybody is valuing Mason Mount as. So
I'm also saying that's appropriate, but
not everybody will pay Lukaku money, Sid. Not everybody will pay Enzo Fernandez money. I'm sorry. But anyway, I wish you good luck. I wish you happiness because you're a lovely person, absolutely amazing every time you call in. You're one of the Chelsea fans that I don't watch any suffering on. A lot of them I do. Because they're shameless. They're shameless fans.
Listen, have hope earlier. Right. Firstly, Mo, and Mo, do you know what? I like that you stuck up for us a bit, but not enough. Listen, the way he was talking about Man City spend money, right? And it's like, I'm sorry, but our spending over the last 5 years compared to Chelsea is not comparable, right?
Dude, it's so much non-factual. It's unbelievable. Like every time he opens his mouth,
says it every time, doesn't he? He goes,
every time. And I'm like, and people in the chat, bro, people in the chat attack me so much. It's unbelievable.
But also,
Man City,
for a grown man for a grown man to call Neymar Nene, yeah, on a live stream, right? I'm sorry, a grown man calling another man Nene. I'm not with that, right? Secondly,
No, but there are
he's
many.
playing FIFA. The way he was saying, you know what? And what he was saying as well, he was saying that Chelsea should challenge next season because they have to, because of the amount of money they've spent. And it's like, no, it doesn't work like that.
No,
I
no,
get
no, no,
that
no, no.
I get that. I get why everyone else would be looking at Chelsea and going, do you know what? For me as a City fan, that all we ever hear is, you know, we bought the league. Like, if that is a true thing, that you actually can buy the league, then yes, Chelsea should win the league next season. But that isn't how football works. That is not how football works. And when he started listing the players and going, you know, there's rumours about Neymar, it's like, oh, honestly, sometimes Have Hope talks a bit of sense.
Neymar
but at
to
times,
Chelsea.
Can
he
we?
support he Neymar to Chelsea, yeah, but it's just FIFA.
No,
It's
no,
just
no,
Anyway,
no,
FIFA
no.
talk.
guys, let's just. I'm gonna say last thing. Chelsea
Yeah.
net spend over the past 5 years is 600 million. Man City is 200 something. So
It's because of
this
last
is
season.
these
It's
are
because of
factual.
last
Yes,
season, because we are also a good selling team,
but
because we sell
even
youngsters on a
Sid,
good amount.
it's great. But even 200 plus million as a net spend for a team that won that much isn't bad at all. It
Yeah,
not That's what I want.
yeah.
People don't understand this. It isn't. But anyway, thank you, Sid. I really
Yeah, thanks,
appreciate
Sid.
you.
Good
Lovely
night.
having you here. So we're gonna move on to the next caller. Thank you so much, Sid.
Good
Always
night.
pleasure to have you with us, my friend. Always.
Yeah, love
Couple of,
Sid.
thank you, Sid. Couple of super chats I want to do here is, in what world Mason Mount's worth 80 million? Shantuna, of course, this is kind of mad that is saying this, that people saying 80 million. But thank you so much for the super chat. The second super chat said Chelsea fans are getting ahead of themselves, just like their transfer window.
Yeah,
No one
true.
will pay more than 55 for Mickey Mouse, which means Mason Mount.
Mickey Mouse.
But for Mickey Mouse, again, another super chat. Thank you so much for the yeah, which is, I don't know, if Man United do this, they should hang somebody in a public,
Yeah, I don't.
whatever.
Do you know what?
Square.
And
Like,
I
it's
must
kinda
say,
weird.
early on,
gonna-
Staffy and Usman made a because I've been open and said I think Mount is a good player, but someone made a really good point that Mount and Bruno are actually very similar players, right? And
Kinda.
neither of them, as far as that, neither of them are possession-based players. Yeah,
No, none of them.
neither of them
Yes.
are. So
They're
neither's
very direct.
Yeah, and neither's Casemiro.
Yeah. I
So
see
all
your
of a
point.
sudden, if you look at that midfield, and it's a really good point that when people are saying that long term they think Ten Hag is going to change the way that United play, and it's not going to be so much counter football. Well,
No, he
ultimately,
won't.
if you've got Mount, Casemiro, and Bruno as your 6 and your 2 8s, there's no possession there at all, which is a
No, there
really
is
good
none.
point. Anyway, people keep smashing those likes. Let's get those likes up to 150 at least. Nearly 200 of you in here. In fact, pretty much bang on 200
So,
of you in here. Only 106 likes. So people, let's get those likes up. Check your likes and please smash that like button. Let's get the next caller.
So look at the second caller, and my friend here I'm not sure if you've called him before, but can you tell us your name first?
Yuvraaj. Just call me Yuvraaj. It's easier.
Yuvraaj, where
Yeah.
are you tuning in from, my friend?
England. London.
From London. Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And you support
And
Liverpool?
who do you support? Man United?
No, you can tell I'm back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's positive vibes right now. You know, we're linked
Are you
with,
positive?
and right now the transfers, it's looking good. That's what I'm gonna say. We're linked with Kone, Thuram, and see McAllister. I think is done. I forgot the guy's name. Some Wolfsburg defender. His name is I don't know his name. Some random weird name, but. And then I think we're linked with a Pavard. I will not take Pavard, please. Dude,
You don't want Pavard?
No, he's not even that great. I don't rate him. Like Pavard, he's versatile. I know, but like he's not great.
But do you not think that might be something that you lot need, a bit of versatility at the back?
I mean, depends the fee, right? If it's like, I would take him at least a cheap. Probably like, I'd only pay like maximum 20 for him. But 20 I would pay up to because I think he's versatile. We need some versatility. But yeah, I mean, look, I think if we sign Kone, Thuram, and McAllister, and a centre back and a right back, I think we can challenge again next season. I think we can. Will we win it? Probably not.
Hold on.
But
So
Can I ask
let
you?
me just
Go ahead,
let me just list that again
go
because I
ahead.
think you might have. So you're saying if you sign a versatile defender,
Right,
a
like a
right back, and then
right back, centre back, a right back, a centre back, so like a Timberman.
Yeah.
McAllister, Thuram, and Kone.
5 signings.
Yeah. I think
I agree. I wouldn't disagree with you. I think I think you're right. You don't need to touch anything up top. I think you're right. You could challenge if you
Can
fill
I ask
all
you
5
something,
of
my
those
friend?
positions.
Yeah. Can I ask you something? How many games have you watched for Mönchengladbach this year?
Probably
Honestly, a whole game. Will you actually watch this player? Not a compilation on the internet.
Probably like once or twice. I don't
Once.
know.
How many games you watch for Nice?
I watch them in like sometimes
2 games? 2 games?
Yeah, around 1 or 2 games.
Okay. So you're building your assumptions based on players you saw compilations of. Is that what I'm hearing? Or is that what? Because this is what the internet is doing right now. You're like, I'm not. By the way, I watched Thuram live. Fantastic player, but a youngster. Kone, I didn't. But Pavard, on the other hand, experienced player, can play in many places, can help your defense. So you're coming here to big up 2 players that you watched probably 180 minutes combined for both, because I'm sure when you're watching Mönchengladbach, you're on your phone tweeting or something. But Pavard, we're watching the World Cup. We have watched in Bayern Munich, who has won before with teams, and you're telling me that you don't want that, but you want the youngsters. How's that logic? It's not McAllister. I didn't talk about McAllister because we all know what McAllister can do. So McAllister, fantastic, great. But what is this about? You're putting your club's future in the hands of Kone and Thuram, who you haven't watched.
They would feel. This is the thing. Like the system we're playing, the way we play fits them exactly.
Fits them based on what? You haven't watched them.
We're playing inverted. This Trent thing, Trent in the inverted role, and then you're gonna have Trent, and then you're gonna have Thuram, McAllister, and Kone. That's be your 4 midfield. That's gonna be a diamond. If you want to say diamond,
if you start Kone and Thuram and McAllister, and this is your starting 11 in your first season, you'll get eaten alive in the Premier League. These 2 players are very young to put them and say, okay.
It's a bit like last season where they were playing Carvalho and Harvey Elliott.
Harvey Elliott and Curtis Jones starting together. I'm like,
yeah. And or even with Carvalho, they're just a bit young and inexperienced. I do get what you're saying there. I do get what you mean about that. But then McAllister would give that a bit more experience.
Great, but they need these 2 players should come in as one player. They swap, they get in the squad every here and there, and then you'll build for the future. But for Liverpool to start competing again, you need the likes of McAllister. You need the likes of players that are experienced.
I'm looking at from FSG standpoint. That's such a FSG summer. I would obviously go for Barella. I would take Barella, all those top class players. But with FSG, trust me, we're gonna have limited.
I would even go for Lavia instead of these players. It's the same price because I think Manu Kone is reported for 40 million. Is that 40 million?
Yeah,
Lavia is same. Yeah,
Lavia. I mean, look, I think probably.
I don't know what. Listen, I don't know these players. I just don't know them. I'm not sitting here and tell you I know these players. I don't.
Thuram.
I know a little bit, but not much. But that's what I mean. Liverpool are. Do you need? In my opinion, that's my opinion. I might be wrong. You need to sign more experience. McAllister is not old. Is he old? How old is McAllister? Can someone tell me? 24 is already not old. You might need to sign the likes of a Casemiro, but not, instead of Fabinho. Maybe.
But that isn't what Klopp does, really, is it?
I mean, that's your point.
But that's not what Arteta does as well, Daps.
I want to go to. I really want to go to. I really want to go to. But do I see us going for him? Probably not. But he would have been fitting this club perfectly, experienced. But look, I'm just looking from an FSG standpoint. But if it was my summer, I would probably go for Agate, Lavia, McAllister, the centre backs could be Timber. It's fine. I don't mind. Timber can be versatile and stuff. But I'm looking from FSG standpoint. That is such an FSG summer, and I think, look.
Well, you guys are traumatized from these owners. Like seriously,
I can't. I'm not. I can't even trust we're going to sign them through. I'm just assuming we are because I don't trust FSG to sign these 3 players. I think McAllister's done. I think Kone is cheap. So Kone, I think we can get Kone in. Thuram, negotiating with Nice will be difficult. Trust me. I think they want 60 million euros. We're probably going to offer 50. We're going to be cheap. I would offer the 60, but obviously.
So if you get your window, as you said now, where do you think you should finish next year, realistically?
Top 4 at least, probably.
So why not challenging?
The thing,
why not? No, I'm really genuine question. If you get the midfielders that can reignite Jurgen Klopp's system, why not challenge?
I think we can finish second. I think if we can finish second, I think. Because look, last 10 games have given me signs that we can compete. Like these last 10 games have been impressive. I know we got one goal scraps, but this gives me a bit of confidence going to next season. There's still a spine there. There's still a spine. You just need to get that with other world-class players and watch this team would work.
But I think that's where Mo's going with. I think you're right. And listen, I all season was one of these fans that was saying, I still think Liverpool come good. I still think Liverpool, even down, I was still kind of saying you might get top 4, probably 10 games before the end of the season, right? But I think what Mo's saying is right. You've just said you still got the spine of the team, a couple of world-class players, and there you go. You're back challenging. Now, I did a show earlier this season on AFTV where there was a conversation about Arsenal's team, and people were saying Arsenal don't have world-class players, right? And I said, hold on, they're not world-class players yet, but if they win the league, they will move up that level to being classed as world-class players. Now, the players that you've just listed, McAllister, Kone, Lavia, are any of these players world-class players? And I get that they could be, but we have to have the same energy. That if we're going to say right now, Arsenal's players aren't world class because they haven't won anything yet, then I think we're looking at. I'm saying Kone, I've heard great things about. Haven't watched enough to judge him myself. Lavia, listen, I'm a big Lavia fan, but are these really world class players?
Look, the Kone price is good. I think it's cheap,
but that's not a world class player. I'm just saying what you just said.
I was about to say like. Look, I think we finished second, but I do think City. Look, I'm not going to say we can challenge, but I think we can if we get the right system in. But do I think we will? Probably not. I think
because of FSG.
Yeah, I think we probably finish second, but I think we finish behind City by like at least 5.
Do you know what? I don't think Liverpool should be even. Do you know what? I'm a strong believer at this point. These conversations about who's going to challenge, who's going to do what, who I can't stand them. I think for Liverpool, all you want to do is be back in the mix, innit?
Okay,
you want to be back in the mixer.
We need to get top 4, win the Europa League, and win one of the domestic cups.
Yeah,
that's probably my aim.
Okay, well, listen, really appreciate you calling in. Love the support, and do you want to tell anyone where they can find you or anything? If they're
on Instagram, you can just search Yuvraaj, and then it will just be there. I have a Liverpool background, so yeah, that's really for family.
Very obvious.
and yeah, hopefully we'll see you again soon. Great talking.
Thank you so much for calling in. Appreciate it. The next caller is a Chelsea fan, one of our members, of course. Priority,
my main,
is for members. It's Winter Surfer. First, it's the member, Chelsea fan, of course. How are you?
All good. Hope you are as well.
All good.
I'm good. How are you doing?
Yeah,
enjoying the transfer rumours.
Yeah, I love them. I love these. I mean, I don't think half of them will come off, but I do like them. So you know what I mean. It's all fun. Keeps everyone's day going, moving. New news, so it's all good. Instead of like going after like one player a summer or something like that, and you're waiting like 3 months, like we did with Haaland a couple of summers ago. When for like 2 months it was just Haaland news.
I remember that summer, you know.
That summer lasted ages.
That wasn't last summer. That was the summer before, when it where Chelsea.
21,
Yeah.
That was just
And
mad.
that was the summer that we spent that summer. With us, it was Kane, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was it was very slow that summer. If you remember, like even like the top teams, it wasn't like much was going on.
No.
So it was very very slow. But season's actually not even over.
I know.
Yeah. it's still like leagues ending this weekend, FA Cup final, then you got Conference League next midweek, and then the Champions League. The transfer window is not even open.
But this is back to how it should be, wasn't it? Because the FA Cup usually is the week after the Premier League finished. It just changed for a little period.
Was it last year? It was before.
Yeah,
right?
Last year you lot played Liverpool before the league had finished,
and the season before that as well. Yeah. So it's one of those things that I like. It's good. It's but it should be the final should be at the end of the season. When the season's over. So it's all
I want to have a conversation with you because you texted me this morning when I was talking with Have Hope. He texted me, and you said you don't claim him. However, I'm gonna keep the same energy that I kept on the show this morning.
Sure.
I think Chelsea, with the amount of money you spent and the plans that were being presented everywhere, you're gonna sign this, you're gonna sign that, you're gonna get Enzo, and then already Enzo's there. You're gonna get Caicedo, you're gonna get Ugarte. I think realistic, and you have an experienced manager in Pochettino, even though I'm not his biggest fan, you should be challenging. I'm not saying winning the league,
right?
But being 12 this year isn't the reason why you shouldn't be in the top 4 or something.
Yeah,
you shouldn't be. Exactly. Do you agree with this notion that Have Hope, with all the madness he says, he was really realistic. He said, we spend that much money, and we're spending more, and we're getting experienced players that played, like Ugarte. This guy played in Europa League, played in the Champions League. So he has international experience. And you're getting Caicedo, who's one of the best players in the Premier League in the midfield this year.
Yeah.
So why not challenging? What is Chelsea's fans' reason for saying we should not challenge? Why?
I don't know. For me, I need to see what striker we get as well. I need to see.
Nkunku already is on the way.
Right. So. But I'm thinking Poch usually likes. I know he has played 4-3-3 before, but his usual one he likes to play 4-2-3-1. Let's see what, because we haven't. Apart from Nkunku, our forward line is not.
How about
really...
Lukaku is coming back?
He doesn't want to be here, Mo. He doesn't. He doesn't want to be here unless.
By the way, he's gonna stay at Inter. Just to
That's what I mean. I think look out for. I've been a report tonight about them looking at goalkeepers, but I don't know if they're going to look at Onana or something in the summer.
I think Kepa isn't bad. He wasn't that bad. Like that bad that you guys make him to be. Like he isn't world of Leicester City. You guys talk about him that he is.
The thing for me is that I've seen enough. It's 5 years now. Do you know what I mean? I've seen enough. Okay. He's not. If I'm going to build a championship side, winning side, Kepa can't be my number one goalkeeper. Because as much as he's great at shot stopping, which I don't judge goalkeepers on shot stopping, so they should be good at, it's more of like owning the box, making decisions, stuff like that. But I don't. Kepa, by the way, Kepa's not going this summer because he's on 155 grand a week for 2 more years, so no one's going to pay that. So stuff like that. But I agree. The thing about Have Hope, though, he said we should be challenging for the title, and then the next sentence says, but he doesn't trust Pochettino to do it, Mo. If you remember, that's what he said.
Yeah, he did.
Which is it's the same as me.
No, but it's like it sort of does the argument really when you go, well, I'm challenging. I want us to challenge for the title, but I don't really trust the manager, and that's fine and everything like that. But then where do you really side? I think we should be challenging. No problem. We're playing once a week. We should be challenging. What that looks like. You can't say anything. You can't look past Man City to go for the 4-peat because they're obviously champions. They're the best team in Europe. So, you have to obviously say you have to finish above Man City to win this title. No matter how slow they start in every season, you have to say, you know what? An 8-point lead's not big enough. It has to be double digits. Do you know what I mean? It has to be double digits. And also...
have a deep squad.
Yeah, have a deep squad. But also, if you, build up such a lead that even if you have to play City again, it doesn't
like Liverpool did.
If you lose.
Liverpool did in 2020.
I think Man City next year. I think actually Man City next year will be a Centurion team.
Well, I wouldn't. I really think I didn't really think it was a title race this year. It was just.
I wanted to ask you this: where do you draw the line? Where does title race? Is it 20 games if you are competing for, or is it 30 games, or is it 35?
I think
is
if
it
you're
15?
I think if you're leading with like 10 games left, you should power on and win it.
So that's called title race. So because Arsenal only were competing for 31 games.
Right, that's what I mean. So but if you think about it, they put themselves in such a position that if they not drop the points against,
I see someone doesn't like what I said in the background.
West Ham, they put themselves in such a position that they could afford to lose it at the Etihad this season, but they didn't take on. But,
do you know what? I think Arsenal were in a title race this year. I think.
Oh, definitely they were for 31 games.
Yeah.
For me, a title race is 38 games, right? It's the whole of the season. It's not even. Do you know what? Look, I'll always go back to this. The FA Cup game that Arsenal fans were saying, "Oh no, it doesn't mean anything." It does mean something, but it means that because the Arsenal would overcome every single hurdle, were looking phenomenal coming to the Etihad, right? And I said, you haven't got a game till 7 days after that. You need to prove to your players that while City aren't at our best, you can come to the Etihad and beat us. Because if you do that, you've overcome another hurdle, which then means when we come to the Emirates, you'll have confidence. And the fact that Arteta played a rested team that game, I think impacted them psychologically against us so much that it was like, you're just not going to beat City home. And we beat them all 3 times this season. So, but I do think... with Arsenal, I think they are going to go again next season. By the looks of it, if they do get Declan Rice, which I think they will. I know Declan Rice seems to be at the moment doing the rounds. I know he's had a meeting with Bayern. I'm pretty certain he probably has flirted with Man United. If Mason Mount is flirting with Man United, or going to Man United, I'm pretty confident that him and Declan Rice will have had a conversation, and Declan Rice will have had a conversation with Man United. What people need to understand is footballers that are happy at a football club, when it comes to contract times, they will see what other offers are out there. They'll go and have, like Sterling. I don't think Sterling ever wanted to leave City, but it was, this is the money I want. I don't think Mane wanted to leave Liverpool. If Liverpool would have given him the money he wanted, I think he would have stayed there. But once you've done a certain amount at a club, it's like, right, I've done everything I can here. I'm happy to stay here. You pay me what I want. And I think at the moment, Declan Rice is very much... I think Arsenal would be his favourite because I don't think he wants to leave London.
If he wins next week, though, with West Ham and he gets them a trophy, he can't do anything more for that.
No, so he's done exactly.
Yeah, and he's done it. He's like,
and that's the same with, I feel, with Gundogan and Bernardo at City. That if we win the Champions League, they're going to go, do you know what? We've done everything we can here.
Yeah.
We'll stay. I think with Bernardo, maybe his other half's not happy there, so I think they'll go. With Gundogan, he's kind of like, now, I want a 2 or 3 year contract. I'm happy to stay if you lot give me that. If you lot don't want to give me a 2 or 3 year contract, I've done everything I can here. I've hit my own objectives. I'll go elsewhere for the money. And I think,
I think you're right. I think you're right. It comes. I don't begrudge any player asking for what they think they're worth. Like with Mason Mount, I don't rate him that highly, but I don't begrudge him asking what he thinks he's worth. It's it could be a short career. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And if Man United are willing to offer, and we know they overpay players. Do you know what I mean? We do know they overpay players. They do.
Sancho.
But go get your bread.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So go get it. Go get it. So I have no problem with that whatsoever.
But big mistake. Big mistake. But anyway.
Oh I think it will be as well. And going back to your first conversation with Stav, I'd take 45 for him. I take 45 million for him. I think that's what he's worth. If you want to
Mount,
if they want to do this new thing now, where the add-ons are now on every deal or something like that, whatever. I don't care. Just take it because on us, he hasn't cost us anything.
Yeah,
it's a £45 million profit. Do you know what I mean? It's a profit for us selling it. So I would do that. And he
isn't an asset because he's on a free next year. Like he isn't an asset you can hold on to.
So why would you? So if you keep him, and also in like January, you can talk to like European clubs as well and sign a free contract somewhere. So what is the point? You can't. Clubs have to be now, unless you have to do now your contract negotiation when there's a minimum 2 years left on a contract for people, right? You have to start that then and do it then. If you can't get it done, you set yourself a deadline. If he doesn't want to sign it or you don't think he's worth anything, then you have to sell him. Same with Kovacic as well. I think Kovacic, Kovacic, I don't mind Kovacic leaving. If he
Do
goes
you know what I don't understand? Why Mount is more expensive than Kovacic? Because of the age?
and
Only age?
English tax, and he's English.
I think there's three things. I think one would be age.
Defo.
Two would be the English tax. That's definitely the thing.
Resale value, I mean, yeah.
And I think the other thing, it would probably be, we have to be real, that Kovacic this season has had
injuries.
Had injuries, and Olu just said backstage, Olu's right, yeah, commercial value.
Yeah, resale value, he does, yes, yeah, of course.
And this is the thing.
Man's got great PR as well. And
he's English, bro. It's more Kovacic. I think this is the thing, people don't speak on the commercial value enough. Like when people talk about, and I think it's also relevant. So at the moment with Arsenal, people will say that what Saka is getting is going to be worrying because if he gets whether it be between 250, 300, right? That when it comes to Saliba or it comes to Martinelli's next contract, they're going to be going, well, we want what Saka's got. Now, when a contract negotiation is done, agents are involved and common sense is involved and numbers is involved, right? And when Arsenal Football Club sit down with Saliba or sit down with Martinelli and they pull out the numbers and they show the value that Saka is worth commercially compared to the value that they are worth commercially. And it will be able to be shown in numbers. Yeah. These are the shirt sales of Saka. These are the commercial deals we get for Saka. These are the commercial deals we're being offered for you. Yeah. It's going to be, and the same with Mount and Kovacic commercially. Yeah. Olu's spot
also,
on,
I looked at because everyone was going, oh, Saka shouldn't get 300k. I looked at Arsenal's wage list. Do you know how much Jesus is getting?
250, something.
265.
Well, there we go.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, Jesus I think is a good player, right? But I think Saka's trajectory is going up and up, right?
Yeah. I agree with you.
I don't care. I think when everyone's going, I say go look at their wage bill, bro, because if you're paying
people keep inflating.
Yeah, I've just seen 350. I ain't never heard 350.
Saka is on 198 plus 90 bonuses, so that brings it to 288. This is exactly what it's. Anyway, Winter Surfer, appreciate you, my friend. All the love.
As always, appreciate your support as well.
Thanks for being a member, of course. We really appreciate you, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon, my friend.
And you.
Okay.
Who do we have next? People keep smashing that like button. Get those likes up.
Guys, how many?
Want the likes to be up to 150. We're at 131. So if we could get those likes up. Here he is.
Hey. You're lucky. Oh, that guy is lucky enough because I'm about to cook him about Arsenal knowing in a title race. I mean, what kind of nonsense is that? Oh my god! Just because you don't
win,
something
you're in a title race. You want to?
Well, let me seriously, Olu. What is a title race? Is it 30 games or 25 games? What is it?
No, a title race is the whole season, and whoever wins the most games, I guess accrues the most points, wins the title. So all 20 teams at the start of the season all start on 0. They're all in the title race. Whether they can realistically win it or not. Did you just
say winning the most games? Did you just say who wins the most games?
I said
gets the most points. He means.
Points. You need to make sure with those Invincibles gold trophies, you need to make it very clear that it's about the most points, not the most wins.
When we won Invincible, we did have the most wins compared to I think City won more games than we did when we were Invincible. So it's not about the most wins, but the most points. But I was just saying that basically. I know. Obviously, you're more likely to win. You're more likely to win the league if you have the most wins. So, but yeah, just nonsense about because after 31 games, the title race sort of flipped and Man City became favourites or started leading. It means that Arsenal in the title race. That's just nonsense. That's just a way of you trying to be funny, but it's not funny because if in that case, there's never been a title race unless it's gone down to the last.
No, there has to be a lot of title race. I can remember. I can. No. Sorry, Daps. I can tell you. Chelsea, Man United. When Man United won it and Chelsea won it on goal differential. Aguero. That's a title race. Liverpool, Man City twice. So, going to the last game.
Last day.
Give me just a second until game 37 when Leicester won it in game 37. That what I call a title race. I will call you this year a challenger. You had a big chance of winning the league. But if I'm sitting here and in game week 33, You are telling me that they already won the title, or game 32, and Arsenal fans said that we have no chance. I wouldn't call this a title race. I would call you challenged for the title. That means you kept toe to toe with Man City for 2/3 of the season. Realistically, the game is 38. You kept toe to toe with Man City to 31 games. That's 2/3 of the season. Isn't that, or maybe more? No, 3/4. 3/4.
Could we define what a race is? Because if you have a 100-meter race, just because the person finishes first doesn't mean 7 other people wins in the race as well.
If they finish first by 10 yards in a 100-meter race, it's not a race. It's not a title race.
It's still a race.
So that means Southampton were in a race.
Yes, at the start of the season, they were in a race and they fell off very early. That's what happens.
Anyway, we're all friends here. Listen, the season is over.
We are friends, but I want to get things straight.
Mo, we don't want to remind this. No, Ollie, we don't want to remind this Arsenal fan that he's a
Man
loser.
As a Man City fan, would you call this a title race? How do we call this a title race? And when Liverpool did with you twice, a same word. There has to be a different word for it, Dan.
Nah, for me, there don't need to be a different word. And ultimately, listen, I'm really trying to drop this. I've been warring with Arsenal all season. I'm trying to drop this, right? And we don't need to keep reminding Arsenal fans that they're losers. They get that they're losers. They were in a race and they lost, right? We move on. Back to friends now. Let's talk about how they're going to... Are you going to lose Declan Rice to Bayern or Man United?
I don't know. Who cares?
Let me just get this. Olu, I am not discrediting what you did. Phenomenal, sensational football. Amazing job you did for 31 games. You just needed to have more breath in you.
Of course.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I'll say, okay, just to finish it off, and we'll talk about transfers. Just to finish it off, it went down to the wire with Liverpool, with the other seasons you mentioned. However, it was still a race. That's what I'm saying. So it went down to the wire. That's actually the term you should be using to talk about those seasons. Anyways, back to transfers.
Sorry, just quickly. You'll like this one. Mo, this one's for you. Mo, this one's for you.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, that it's not a league, it's a cup. So there's no race here.
So are you
There's no race here. There's no race. It's a cup. It's like you know the difference. It's a tennis tournament. You lose one game, you're out. You're completely out. What is this comment? What is this comment? Oh my god!
What have I started?
anyway, let's go back to Declan Rice signing for Bayern Munich instead of Arsenal.
Yeah, well, look, if that happens, you just hope that there's going to be a quality signing that is comparable to Declan Rice. Now, again, I'm not going to be one of those people that's naming names like Ugarte or whatever it is, because to be honest, I didn't watch enough Portuguese football for me to tell you how good Ugarte is. I saw him play against Arsenal. He played well, got sent off in the end of the last game, and that's the only. I think I saw him against Tottenham. Those are like probably the 3 times or 4 times I saw him play. So I'm not going to claim that it's going to be this special player playing in bloody Luxembourg that all of a sudden becomes the darling of Twitter, and now we now have to spend 70 million on him. I just hope that basically what happens is that if Rice is a target and we don't get Rice, similar to what we did with Mudryk and ended up with what's his name from Brighton? My brain's gone blank now. What's the name player we bought? Trossard. Thank you. Yeah, I can't believe my brain went blank. That sort of idea of have your first target, your second target, your third target is sort of the model that Arsenal going forward. So, look, if Declan Rice goes to Bayern Munich, it's not the end of the world, right? You just hope that there's a scouting network, there's a list of names, and you just have to trust that actually they've made good decisions recently in bringing in players.
Yeah,
not all the time at the best price, and not all the time the superstar names like they've all come in and done jobs. Some haven't done well. You look at the guy we shipped over to Marseille, the left back. But yeah, I mean, you just hope that there is a list of players that Arteta's already identified.
I think generally his scouting's done quite well recently as well. Do you know what? I said this to a United fan earlier though about Mount that in fact it was Usman and Staffy, and I said, look, we were talking about City, and I said, if Manchester City got Mason Mount, I would not be mad. And the reason being is that if we brought in Mount, I'd trust that Pep sees something in him, yeah. And that's where I am this summer, by the way, with who City might or might not get. I can come here and say, this is who I want. Look, by Pep saying who he wants, we seem to be doing quite well. So that's where I am. And I said, now, you guys, I presume you both rate Ten Hag and you're backing Ten Hag 100%. And they both said yes. I said, well, if you're backing Ten Hag, why are you not backing Ten Hag's decision to buy Mason Mount? Because if you're not, you're questioning your manager.
Because he's not Pep Guardiola.
No, but no problem. I agree with you on that. But Manchester United fans want to back Ten Hag. That Ten Hag, first season hit the ground running, got him to 2 finals, got him Champions League football, and that give him a couple of years, he's going to be cooking. He's coming for Pep. No problem. So if that's how you truly feel about Ten Hag, when Ten Hag signs Mount, why are you questioning him? Because I thought Ten Hag can't do nothing wrong, but be consistent with it. Because I'll be consistent with it. I'm not questioning Pep signings. Whoever we get, I'm not going to question Pep because it's working.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, that's the good word. It's working. It's a machine that you're adding something to it. The manager of this factory is already successful. He's already producing. Man United, they aren't. They're still building that factory. So fans have the right to question the manager because he hasn't proven himself yet. This guy hasn't proven himself
but then,
yet.
Then don't sing from the
you know what I mean?
He has that man.
Yeah, he's laying good foundation. You know what I mean? He's building the factory. You're seeing good foundation. But he hasn't built the factory that's producing any product yet. But Pep Guardiola is already producing. So if Pep Guardiola says, I'm going to hire this person, you trust him because you had experience with him hiring other employees that work.
But then don't compare the borders then. Don't compare the borders. They're not.
Who is that? who compare both? I'm sorry.
Bro, United fans could be comparing them. Come on.
You're not serious, are you?
Come on, bro.
They are for banter. You know that they turn to themselves in their little rooms and say, we really hope that we are right here. You know that. There is no
I'll say this
here. I'm sorry.
I'll say this. I think partially it is to do with narratives that we all build up about players ourselves, right? Like all of a sudden, one Chelsea fans will say something about Mount, and then all of a sudden, everyone believes the same thing as well. Even if they don't watch him as often as they do, right? And don't get me wrong. I mean, every time I see Mount, he has disappointed, but it doesn't mean that there wasn't a quality player. There's still not. Yeah, recently I'm talking about.
Oh, recently.
But I don't watch Chelsea as often as well. They haven't been on TV as much. I think. I do. And also, he's been injured. But the point I'm still making is that I think we all
have been injured, so you didn't watch them. You have been
I had a ligament injury. I was saying that I think there's an element of fans. We build this narrative in our head, and then once a rival team wants to buy it, those people start thinking the exact same thing. Oh, Mount isn't good. Well, actually, 1, he's probably a good player. 2, Ten Hag probably has an idea of how he can try to play him and probably get the best out of him. Now, whether it works or doesn't work, that's to be seen, right? That's the way I always look at it. It's to be seen. And we talk about Pep. Pep has got as many wrong. Okay, he's got things wrong and he's also got things right. And when we start with Grealish last year, a lot of people thought he was getting Grealish wrong. And then this season, it's turned out that he's got Grealish right. I mean,
he got Ferran Torres wrong. He got
Ferran Torres.
Whoa, hold on. No, hold on.
Wait, Daps. I need to get. Wait, Daps.
Let me pull him up on that. Ferran Torres. How did he get Ferran Torres wrong?
Was he the right player for him? Didn't he not fit in the system?
Ferran Torres was scoring goals for us. Ferran Torres chose to lose.
How many goals?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like sometimes you get a player, it doesn't have to be the right fit in terms of scoring goals or not. It might be not fit with the community, the culture. It was very obvious. You were the one who told me that.
His mentality is clear.
You're the one who. So there are many aspects of it.
Performance-wise, he was doing his job of scoring.
I remember because the City, the whole. But I think what Pep saw is that long term, this guy should not be here. He's not going to fit with us, and that's why. It
was when he walked in. You've got to remember, we bought him as a winger, right, Olu? We bought him as a winger, as a young winger. When Aguero got injured, Ferran Torres was thrown up top, right? It wasn't his role. Pep chose him to go up top, and he was scoring goals when we were struggling to score goals, right? However, when he went into Pep's office and said, I want to leave to go to Barcelona, he was only with us for about 18 months, right? You've got to remember that was around the period of COVID as well. As a young kid, arrived in England and basically got put in a flat in Manchester. But I do think you're right that when he went into Pep's office and said, I'd like to leave to go to Barcelona, I think, yes, at that point, Pep probably thought, yeah, you're not the right fit for us. But the same way, the reason why we all love John Stones is that when we signed Ruben Diaz, John Stones walked into Pep's office and said, I want to stay and fight for my place, right? And then, so up until the point where he decided to leave City, I wouldn't say Pep got Ferran Torres wrong. I think ultimately he realised with Ferran Torres being there, this guy's mentality is not built for this club.
Okay, so that means he didn't scout him well.
I mean, that's fair, but we are saying the same. And also, I mean,
you're literally saying the same. Like I didn't say anything about like his performance. I said it didn't work. Like Claudio Bravo. Yes,
Mendy was another one.
Mendy is completely different.
Before the case, he wasn't playing that often anymore.
No, hold on. And why wasn't he playing that often?
Because he had mentality issues. Right?
No, because he was injured, bro, consistently.
Okay.
Yeah?
Anyway,
so that's the physios, not Pep. That's the physios.
Listen,
Monaco is
what I mean is that Pep normally gets it more right, but more wrong. But because he has credit in the bank.
I said Nolito was another player that.
You spoke 3 players in the last. Do you know what? Fuck this. Let's talk about Olu's come on here. Let's talk about Arsenal being losers.
He is the one who started talking about Pep and Man United, by the way. He's the one who deflected from Arsenal and started talking about Pep.
Let's go back to slamming Arsenal again. Fuck it.
I said what point was that? I forgot my point. Anyways, when it comes to Arsenal, we'll see. I think we probably need, I'll say, 3 players to come in.
That's it?
Defender.
That's it?
Yeah, because I don't understand why people think that you could just bring in 5 or 6 players and expect, like, I mean, look at Chelsea. They literally did what everyone thinks the team needs to do, which is bring in 5, 6, 7 players, and look at how badly it happened. I mean, sometimes you just have to look at your team and go, well, this team finished second, right? It put up a title challenge, so there's no race anymore. And if there could be players departing, you need to bring in 3 quality players that will challenge the first team. Now, if there are players departing, then you start to look, okay, what do we replace them? But if you're thinking just go in and let's just do something stupid like bring in, like I said, 7 players. One, I can't think of 7 players off the top of my head that isn't the Twitter darlings that everyone seems to want to get at the same time. And I just think that, yeah, you want to have balance. You want to continue. And again, Pep, to go back to Pep has shown actually there's value in having.
Is he haunting you, Mo?
There's value in having a team that's actually settled that you're adding onto it. Last year it was Grealish. This year it was Haaland and Alvarez. Not massive changes on the City team, right?
Can I ask you a question? Are you challenging again next season?
I hope so.
No. Fuck hope. Are you challenging next season?
I cannot look into the future and tell you.
Give me conditions. Give me conditions. Tell me if this and this happen, we should be challenging. We're challenges here.
I'll say
be realistic. Don't get me. Don't let me. If you go back in time and you get Messi, like on.
No. I'll say for us to challenge, one, we need to have we need to get the team and the depth back to a good level, i.e. look at the number of defenders that we had injured towards the end of the season. So we have to start with that and see what the injuries are. Like I said, you need to bring I think 3 quality players to challenge for the first team, not just guys who are going to stay on the bench. And then also there's going to be a massive level of luck as well that goes into it, because I think.
So you're challenging to get lucky.
You see that lucky thing? That is not what fan base should talk about. It's
not just that. I heard 2 things. I heard luck mentioned. I heard injuries mentioned. Bro, you're not challenging next season, man.
What is this?
Wait. What's that? Wait. So, what? Okay.
How were you so confident? Up until April, you were so confident. Now you're mentioning injuries and luck, and that's what you're basing your challenge on.
Because I told you.
I'll give you another chance. I'll give you another chance. Let me ask the question again.
Let me know, Mo. Let me just ask this question, please. I cannot look into the future, first of all. I don't 100%. Know what's going to happen with the team. I don't know what's going to happen with every other team. Every single season has like this. I think sometimes we get so arrogant when we think we can predict things. We cannot predict what's going to happen, right? It's not me saying that I don't trust my team.
Were you lucky?
I
Did
know.
you get lucky this season?
Of course,
He has a question. I know. He has a question, and then ask the question. I know you're getting somewhere. Ask the question that you want to ask us.
Which is what?
you just told me, Mo, let me ask you a question. And then you said that we cannot predict the future and stuff. And then you kept dwelling around it, and then you forgot the question, but fine.
I forgot the question. The point I'm still making is, do we have luck this season? Of course we had luck this season. We scored a goal in the last minutes with bloody Reece Nelson.
That's not luck. That's not luck.
It is luck to some extent.
That's playing to the whistle. That's not luck.
Of course, but it is luck to some extent because you can't.
No.
You don't. I think when I say luck, I don't mean that. I'm not talking about it's something that is out of the ordinary. I'm just saying this. That scenario, play that scenario out 10 more times. I bet you we don't score that goal.
All right. So did United used to get lucky by playing to the whistle under Fergie, or was that drilled into them?
It was drilled into them, but it's still lucky to get themselves into those scenarios. Like, for example, the Champions League final that they won against Bayern Munich in 1998-99, right? Go back and watch that game. They got absolutely battered, but they scored 2 goals at the end of the game. So, yeah, there's perseverance that goes on, but it's a degree of luck. Right. Bayern hit the post twice.
So in that case, last season, so last season in the Champions League semi-final when we played Real Madrid, did Real Madrid get lucky? No, they played to the whistle and they scored 3 in the last 15, 10, however long it was, because they played to the damn whistle and we lost our head. Like, bro, I'm sorry, nothing a player doesn't. There's very little luck. It's about playing to the whistle.
Okay, we gotta move to the next caller, Olu. So for me, I'm gonna keep saying it to you. If you get your first target, you get the Declan Rices, you get the wingers you want, you get the centre back you want. Your starting 11 were good enough to absolutely challenge Man City in every single aspect of the game this year until Saliba got injured. And even with Jesus got injured, you got Trossard and you were okay. If you get 3 good players and 2 bench players, you will challenge. You should be challenging. Otherwise, all what happened this year is a failure.
Yeah.
I'm not predicting the future. I'm saying unless. But for me, I am not predicting that the players are going to drop in form. I'm predicting they're going to keep the same energy that you kept this year with your starting 11. And I'm assuming, based on facts, based on reports, that you're going to get your targets. You should be challenging next year. Am I wrong here? You are assuming. You are assuming that the players are going to drop. And I'm telling you, based on what?
Oh, no, I just said a drop. I just said they're going to drop. Sorry, no. So I think everyone, you're misconstruing what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're going to drop. I already said last year that. Oh, sorry. I said that what you saw last season is going to be Arsenal for the next 4 or 5 years. That's my view. However, I still know that there's going to be a degree of luck that comes into it. My luck I'm talking about is, I mentioned injuries. We went 75% of the season without any major injuries apart from Jesus. And then a lot came happen at the same time. So there's a degree of that kind of luck I'm talking about. So again, I'm not talking about the ball going off the back of someone's backside and going into the net kind of luck. That's ridiculous. But I'm talking about the things that you cannot foresee that happens. Lack of injuries doesn't happen. Yeah. Can we go through next season with no injuries to key players? Can we keep the level high? I don't know those things, but I'm hoping so. I'll
tell you where I don't trust Arsenal and where I had negative energy about Arsenal before. Is that for you to actually get the signings needed to keep the momentum going. This is where I don't trust Arsenal. And I'm basing this based on the fact that you will always went for your second target. That's my problem. And this is what I mean. You failed with Caicedo for whatever reason. You failed with Modric. You dodged the bullet, but you failed in that transfer. And I'm basing this based on the history. But anyway, appreciate you. I got to get the next caller, which is Reece.
Love, Olu.
Love.
You know that I love your call. It's always one of the best here on the channel. And tomorrow, make sure we're going to have a reaction for the game. And
you know what? Yes, I am going to come on tomorrow and talk about...
Daps, we kind of have something at night.
Actually, big favor. Inter Milan against Man City. That's the one, because I need to laugh at Mo's face because of what he did to me.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you, of course, if I lose by more than 3 or like something, yes, if I get battered,
I said 3. I said
3. 100%. I will not have a face. I'm going to sit here and take all the bet. But if I lose a close game, 2-1, 3-1, and I'm in the game,
for me.
It's for me. It's a game that we played, and the better team won. Thank you. Thank you for being logical.
All right.
We'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
So that just to let people know that the queue in the background is Reece. I got Reece, and I got Sam, and I got Hanno, and then I got Haruna Salim. We had a call before. So Man City fan Reece,
Yep.
Hi,
you
Reece.
wanted to talk to
Hello.
Daps before.
Yeah,
How are you?
yeah, I'm good. I'm good. How are you guys?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. I'm getting nervous, you know. Have
nice,
I haven't said that yet, Mo, have I? Have I said that to you yet?
Absolutely. I really thought you're confident more than this.
Yeah. But so any derby, I will. It's usually the morning of the game I start to feel nervous. It's just natural because the whole thing is, what if we do lose? Yeah. But I guess with this being the FA Cup, and do you know what? I was watching the show on Football Terrace earlier, and it was something Nobbin said that I thought was absolutely spot on. And I saw you listen to what he said because he mentioned your team, and it's very similar to what I said yesterday when I said that if we manage to get to half time I think I said it yesterday, if we get 2 goals by half time, we could go on and win 4-0, right? But the key is us not getting to half time without scoring, because the thing is, and what Nobbin said was, this game and the Champions League game could both go 2 ways. They could both easily be a 3-4-0 City, or there will be a 1-0 to the other team. And I think that is spot on, that with both Man United and Inter Milan, if they manage to frustrate us in the first half and then get maybe for Man United a Rashford goal in about the 70th minute or something like that, that's the only way I could see that it happening.
A scenario where the opposition score first earlier in the first half.
Reece,
Nobbins, by the way, was
that?
very well spoken. Nobbins, if people didn't watch Nobbins, he said exactly this.
Yeah.
In short, he said, theoretically, on paper, we should be favorites. We should win this game. But this is a derby, and this is a cup final and a Champions League final. And not only anything can happen, there are other factors in it. It's not a league game.
Yeah.
It's exactly what he said. He said he's confident in his team, but he wouldn't be surprised if something else happened because it's a cup game. Reece, what are you saying?
I'll be honest, like, I'm confident going into the 2 finals, obviously. I mean, I've got to back the boys the way we've been playing the last couple of months. So no, I'm confident that we'll get the wins starting with tomorrow. But I agree with the fact that it just depends on the day, obviously. I think if we're going to lose, then it's going to be a 1-0, and it's going to be like, I feel like maybe United, if they were to win, it'd be like, I only see it being a counter-attacking goal.
Yeah.
And we get hit on the break. But I'll be honest with you, like, the one thing that people or teams were able to do was hit us on the counter. But in these last couple of months, especially with the new system, you can't hit us on the counter anymore. It's very difficult to do so. I mean, against
Can I
Real
challenge
Madrid,
you on this? Can I challenge you on this?
go on.
Away from home,
Yeah.
in some games, you actually give the opposition the ball in some parts of the game.
Yeah.
So do you consider this a possibility at some point? Like, I think in your memory, you have the Real Madrid game where you actually pounded on them the whole game. But if you look at the game that was played in Madrid, there wasn't a part of the game that Madrid were like having the position. Maybe they didn't create a lot.
I'll be honest.
Do you think Pep Guardiola might be someone who would think about that a part of the game as well? Because he doesn't, by the way, against Bayern, against Leipzig, and against Real Madrid, he did not concede when he get. And I'm applauding him for this. Is absolutely genius. He didn't concede when he gave the opposition the ball. Do you think he can do that a little bit?
I think Pep's plan at Real Madrid was to let them have a bit of the ball.
Mhm.
I think in particular, you've got to take in the fact that both of the games were over 2 legs. So we still had the chance to go back home and obviously play the way we wanted to and dominate the ball. And obviously get the win at home. I think Pep trusted the fact that we still had to go back home in the second leg to get the job done. Whereas away, I think, look, it's the Bernabeu at the end of the day. It's one of the toughest places to go. You're going to have to suffer. So, I mean, I think that was part of Pep's plan. I think this is a one-off game. So I think Pep will look to dominate the ball. If we go maybe 1-0 up and there's maybe the last 10, 15 minutes, I can see us maybe sitting back a little bit and just trying to see the game out. I think we've got the ability now to do so with the 4 centre-backs in defence. So maybe if we're 1-0 up the last 10-15 minutes, I think he may look to that approach. But I see us just trying to dominate the ball and, playing how we've played these last couple of months, really.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Look, I think something at the moment, if I've been speaking about how Pep has every trust in this team, that when we switch the switch, we know, look, Rodri, Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Ruben Diaz, Haaland, Grealish, they know when it's a big game, they know what's expected of them. They know what's expected of them tomorrow. And it's not just about tomorrow. This is I keep calling it this because I truly believe it. This season is our destiny, Mo. This season, with everything that's happened and with the way people will say whatever they want about Man City and, everything around our club, if we go on and win this cup final tomorrow and then win the Champions League, it gets rid of so much of that.
Would you say, Daps, would you say this is the biggest week in City's history?
Do you know what? It's very hard because it's a bit. Do you know what? It's a bit like having a daughter, right? And as a dad, I can tell you now, every moment with your daughter you think is your best. Oh, she's at the best age now, and then she gets she's at the best age now, and the best age is probably when she was born, because that is your daughter being born, right? So for me to say this is our biggest week, well, if we didn't beat Gillingham in that playoff final, right?
Would we be here?
Would we be here? If we didn't beat Man United, I always think that Man United semi-final was massive when we hadn't won any trophies and we came up against our local rival that we've lived in the shadows of for years and years and years. We met them on a neutral ground in Wembley, right? In a semi-final, not a final, a semi-final, and we beat them. Yeah. We then went on and won the final. And that was our first bit of silverware as a group of players, right? Yeah. Not 4 months later, we went to Old Trafford and slapped them 6-1. And then we won the league that season. Now, for me, that is part of a momentum. And do you know what? People won't say this, but this is where tomorrow, and earlier in the season, I said, I feel like we might get Man United in a semi-final or a final at Wembley, and we have to make sure we beat them. Because if we don't, could it be said that this is this is us saying to them, maybe, you know what, we're giving this squad an opportunity to get a bit of silverware and to build a bit of momentum. We can't allow that for them because look, United are gonna go from strength to strength. I don't believe United are gonna drop off and go back down the league. I think they are gonna get better and better. So but I do think this is the biggest thing. It's not, would we be here without the history? No, but we have the chance of winning. I know a treble's massive, but we have a chance of winning that one thing that everyone's got over us, the Champions League.
That's the thing with like tomorrow. Like obviously you want to win the game, 100% want to win this game. But at the end of the day, if we don't win tomorrow, our season isn't over tomorrow. We've still got a Champions League final next week.
Guys,
the Champions League's the one, innit? It's the one.
I want to tell you something honestly. People will always find things to say about you. If you win it once, the Champions League will tell you, when you win it 3 times, come and talk to me. If you win it 3 times, they will tell you, when you win 19 leagues, come and talk to me. But I think completing the trophy cabinet is important for Man City. Because of the dominance. If the dominance, like domestically, you had over the past 5-6 years, if you finish that with a treble and a Champions League, I think there's no denying that this is called the Man City era. It's as simple as that for me. But Reece,
sorry, can I just say one other thing? Sorry, one last thing as well, and that I think is really, really important. The way we won our first Premier League was really important by the team that we beat. It was Man United, and not just the team that we beat, but the way that we beat them and the manager of that team. Right, when we won our first Premier League, we beat Manchester United, managed by Alex Ferguson. They still have Rooney there. They still have Ferdinand there. They still had Evra there, right? And it's very important because no one could say, that was a lucky season. No one was really firing. Fergie brought Man United back the next season and won the league next season. And that's the way I feel about this Champions League, that no one can say, you weren't that good in the league the season you won your first Champions League. We've just won the league, right?
You always want to win the Champions League with the league, man. It's the best way to do it.
Exactly. But even more so, that we will have played Bayern Munich and Real Madrid, which are the two teams with the most heritage in this competition. So if we do win the Champions League this season, we have won it while winning a league, potentially winning an FA Cup, and also beating the two teams with the most heritage in that competition. And also with Inter as well. Inter have got heritage in that competition. No one can knock anything that we have done. And that is why I think it's so important that we get it done this season, because it's just going to build our foundations for the Champions League moving forward.
Yeah. And you didn't have an easy run. People would... That's the problem. You're running the Champions League, is running the champions. Bayern and Real Madrid. It's always the tough way.
Yeah, you have to though, right? That's the way you want to do it.
It's like our league though. Our first league, Premier League title. We won it the hard way.
Yeah, and that's where you want to do it though, because then people can't say, "Oh, it was it was an easy way" or anything. So anyway, Reece, always love you calling in, and good luck for tomorrow. Hopefully next time we speak, at very least. Next time we speak, hopefully we have the treble.
Fingers crossed, man. Cheers for having me on, guys.
No, love for coming on.
Thank you, Reece. Thank you. Listen, I'm gonna get Sam on, but first, there is someone that wants to call in, and I don't know why he wants to have his say. I don't know why, but fine. Monts. But I'm gonna give you 1 minute, 2 minutes, because I got 3 guys.
Monts, you remember?
Because Monts, you're not because
I remember.
He's a member.
Monts get priority.
He's a member.
Because I got 3 guys in the background. I got 3 guys in the background that they've been waiting for a while. But you know.
Oh, okay.
You know
Sorry,
how
guys. Sorry, guys.
So right.
So what are you actually calling for?
What
exactly? That's why I got your answer.
Why are we doing
No,
that?
do you know why I'm doing this? Because I've already had Cass walk in at the start of the show, right, and want to talk about the game of football earlier and go on about how good he was, and literally, you would have thought Man had just won the Champions League.
I mean,
is that what you're calling for? You want some flowers as well?
No, like obviously a lot of man was saying, "Oh yeah, after your Darwin Nunes chat, you better ball out. You better ball out in this fight, in this charity game." I'm not gonna lie, I walked out man of the match. You know what I'm saying, and all that good stuff. Listen, less about my man of the match today and the fact that I proved the doubters. To be fair,
these guys are coming in to talk about their football match on a YouTube channel.
These
ridiculous.
Guys, literally,
it's absolutely ridiculous.
Listen, I can't wait till the footage lands, because then, but at the moment, like, this could all be made up. You and Cass might have actually gone and sat in a field and been like,
"Oh, you lot, fam." Do you know what? I said, Flawless is my witness. Flawless, come and watch the game.
I asked him.
Flawless watched the full 90 of it.
So go on. Were you actually calling up to give Cass props as well?
What about the football? Nah, Cass, bro. You know what? You know what the thing is about Cass, yeah. You see, Cass. I promise you, he shocked me, fam. I can't even lie.
What is
a lot of man was doubting Cass's thing.
Oh, I was fully.
A lot of man, bro. Even when he said something about right foot, left foot dictate on a stream, and even I was like, all right, cool, like, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm not gonna lie. He got the ball early doors, rolled out of his feet, and just pinged it into the midfield straight to man's toe. And I was like, all right, let's see if he does that again. Ball drops to him. I call for it. I expect him to kind of take a touch and then get it out of his feet. Cass just pinged it to me first time round the corner. Pinged it first time round the corner. I was like, what the fuck?
Do you know what? See, the thing is for me,
what the fuck?
Like, Cass has always told me, he came up through Millwall's academy and whatever, and that he was a good baller, yeah. But since he's moved in, bro, when I'm telling you, this man has deliveries every single damn day. It's annoying, yeah. Deliveries of stuff just every day. But it's, it got to a point where he's having footballs delivered. But not once has he gone out and kicked the ball. Not once is it, I'm going to start running, need to get my fitness up. And he's ordering all this kit. But you know where it was getting to a point where he's ordering so much stuff. I was thinking, is my man all the gear? No idea, yeah. Going to go on the pitch. First challenge.
Man like that, though.
And first challenge, claim, I've pulled a hamstring, and go off before anyone can judge him. And you're thinking, hold on a minute. So this is why I needed you to judge him. And now, look, you've judged him. I've verified it with Flawless that the man can ball.
Bro,
so
like, it's one of them ones. He's like, who can I compare
asleep, by the way, as well.
No, he's awake. He's awake. I think
he?
he's awake. I think he's awake.
I
But
don't
like,
know, you know.
he's like Tom Huddleston at left back. That's the best way I can like put it. Like anything distribution wise, he can actually do it well with composure. But you see the mobility. He's not mobile because he's not fit in it. So if he has to track back, this is why I was saying he was Zinchenko today. He was actually Zinchenko. But like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, he done his thing still. Me, because I was left wing, he was left back, so we was killing them.
Oh, left-sided friends.
We was killing them still. But personally, I'm not gonna lie, I'll give him an 8.5, 9. I'll say 9 out of 10 performance. I don't think he really put a foot wrong, apart from when he tried to nutmeg one of the man and it hit his leg. Apart from that, he tried to do the cheekiest ball roll through a guy's legs. It nearly pulled off. But yeah, apart from that, I'd say it was a good performance from him. I'd say up there. With
right, well, listen, we will discuss this more because we've got people waiting at the back. But
on the game, by the way, it is D-Day. If you United fans in here, it is D-Day tomorrow. But
it's D-Day for us as well, bro.
No. It's D-Day tomorrow. Today. Let's just act like the game's today. It's D-Day today. Yeah, it is D-Day today. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's supporting Man United. I don't know why people support it. I'm hearing fans go, "Oh, we're all United tonight, right? Tomorrow, right? What? No. Can't have United winning anything because they're
You're
gonna.
not scared of Man City doing triple. It's astonishing.
Nah, he's into next week.
No, yeah, I'm in. Oh, I'm
no,
in.
but you get what
I'm
you
in
have now.
week.
You get what you get
Mo,
now. You get what you have now.
Mo, this is next week. Mo, this is me and you next week.
No,
Mo,
but hold on. You get what you have now. If Man United win tomorrow, you are not, as a Liverpool fan, at least thinking the treble is already over.
What? Well, I don't give a dash about no treble. What does Man City?
Oh, really? Because you didn't do it, or because
I ain't done no treble? So what does it have anything to do with me? That's United, man. That's that's United's man's little.
But it's another thing that you didn't do. And if Man City will be able to do, they'll be able to talk to you about. You didn't do treble. We did it.
I don't give a dash. That's not something I've done. So all they can say is, "Oh, we've done it and you haven't." Or I haven't done it anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not. I promise you, Man City doing the treble was not my business. It's not. I'd like. How about this? The thing that hurts me the most is if they win the Champions League more than me thinking about a treble for them. Do you know what I'm saying? I think treble is a dent on Man United because now you look at it, is it 7 Premier Leagues for Man City now? Is it 7 Prem or is it 6?
Yes.
7.
No, 7.
It's 7 because Chelsea are on 6, isn't it? Chelsea are on 5.
Soon to be 8.
So the fact that I grew up thinking no one's ever gonna touch.
Hold on, actually, I'm not going to allow this. What you just did there. Hold on a second. I'm not going to allow you to.
Hold on, you actually won. I think 9 or 8.
So thank you.
7. It's 7.
No. Okay, Monts. So how many Premier Leagues have you won?
1.
No.
1. I'm talking about Premier Leagues, bro.
Okay,
I'm not talking about league titles.
So you can say 7. Yeah, cool. Right.
No, I'm saying in this case, innit? I'm talking about in terms of Premier Leagues. I'm not saying like league titles.
Yeah, that's fine. I just had to validate.
That's why I was confused. I swear to God, I was confused.
No, because people get touchy when I say Premier Leagues and I say 20 or 19, or if I say league titles. And so now I have to be specific when I say Premier Leagues and league titles. I have to be quite specific now, innit? I grew up thinking, yo, no one's touching 30. That 13 Premier Leagues in the Premier League era, no one's touching that, you know. And then now, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years later, Man City are on 7 Prems, and they could equal the treble in which Man United are so heavily wanked for. Sorry, but you know what I'm saying? Like, everyone's always oiling them up about their stupid little, their amazing little treble. If Man City can do that, if Man City can do that, and then all of a sudden, if you guys win another Prem, hey, listen. Because I don't see Man United winning the Prem for another 4 years, innit? At least. I don't see it happening. I'm sorry. I don't see it happening. Not because, and it's not because I don't rate Man United.
Do you see, if Pep leaves into it, do you see Man City keep the same trajectory if Pep leaves?
No, not the same trajectory, but they'll still be up there. they'll still be up there. The
But
philosophy
that gives
will
a
stay
chance
the
to
same.
but that will give a chance to other teams to win it. Like
It
Man
will,
United,
but that's
Liverpool.
why do you think I said 4 years?
What I mean is, Daps, you're gonna keep Pep forever.
No, we're not. But Pep's gonna make sure whoever comes in carries on the legacy.
Okay.
Like as I said, Pep probably has like 4 years or whatever. Cool. So I don't know, man. For me, as I said, I don't really want Man City winning the champs because, like I feel like when you win your first champs, you could go on to win more. As Mo said something very intelligent, he said when City do win, if City win that Champions League, then you're gonna get people like me. They're gonna go, "Well, it's fine. Go win 5 more. I got 6 of them." Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's just gonna happen. Like, and then, do you know what I'm saying, bro? When I won the Premier League in 2020, what did I hear? All I heard was, "Oh, great! Oh, that's the first one. Oh, it's about time." Like, do you know what I'm saying? But before that, I was being called a Premierless bum. So it's weird for me. I think City will win comfortably tomorrow. I think there'll be a few nerves, but I think you guys will win comfortably.
I'm a little bit nervous now. Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous now.
I think the Champions League will be a bit more jittery for City just because of the heritage aspect. I think you guys obviously have more quality than Inter Milan. I think you guys will go into it the favourites, but I think if the score is 0-0 past the 70th minute, I think it then becomes then kind of
for me though, bro.
I do hear that. I do hear that. But we'll have to see, man. Listen, I don't want to keep you guys on too much longer. It's D-Day. I got man of the match today. I managed to play in the Premier League stadium today. Man of the match. I don't know if Cass said that. Man of the match.
Molyneux. Okay.
Yes,
cool.
that you see, and the penalty I scored. That's where Ruben. When I had the ball, and I looked at the penalty spot, there were stud marks. They were probably Ruben Neves' stud marks. Just know. They were probably Ruben Neves' stud marks. You know what I'm saying? And I had to do right and slap it bins, as I did. So anyway, listen, people, I don't want to bore you guys. I'm tired. I need to get some sleep. That's
love, man. Catch up soon, bro.
Everyone in the comments, love. Man. You lot, take care.
Right. Sam is here with us. I've been waiting.
Thank you for waiting, Sam.
Sorry, Sam.
I've been here. I've been here sitting here brewing for a while, but now I'm just happy to be on.
Welcome, Blue. How are you feeling?
The nerves are kicking in. It's kind of the calm before the storm now. I'm already getting messages from my friends saying, "Oh, you're shaky, you're nervous." And yes, extremely. But like the bigger picture, we're going into it as the side with the more quality. We're going into it on, I mean, despite coming off the back of a loss and a draw, I think we're coming in a better position than United are. So I'm feeling good about it. But I mean, that 2-1 tie against them in the league earlier. It does a bit. It really does. Let me just turn you up a bit.
Do you know what I think it is? Because with me, I went into that game not as confident as I am now, but I did go into that game confident. And I don't know. I guess that's playing on my head at the moment, and I'm kind of, I don't know where, because where I was for that game and where I was a bit for the Anfield game this season was, do you know what? Quality wise, we're better than them. For that reason, we're going to win this. So if I use that same,
I think something up. But anyway, keep going.
If I go into this with that same thinking, we're going to win. But yeah, that game gave me doubts that, you know what, sometimes City do have an off day. And I do think, look, for United to win it, City have to have an off day and United have to have a good day.
But you're not worried at all, Daps, about what I said
well, that's
yesterday.
what I just told you.
No, about you didn't win at Munich, you didn't win at Leipzig, you didn't win at Madrid, you didn't win at United, Liverpool, you only won at Arsenal. But yeah, and that's the only team. Are you thinking about that at all as a fan?
No, not remotely.
Do you think the players will be thinking about it?
Because you could think about that, or you could think about your back, or you could think about the fact that we've done everything we've needed to do this season.
To win the league. To win. Yes.
Well, not just to win the league. We've done it in the Champions League as well. Whenever we've needed to turn up, we've needed to turn up, right? Now, the games you're talking about, if we really wanted to go into detail about the games when we've been away from home and the results we've got away from home, then no problem. Away from home, we've had probably in most of the grounds 2,000 or 3,000 fans, and the other teams had round about 50,000 fans. Yeah, tomorrow it's equal. Yeah, so straight
Very
away,
good point. Very good point.
It's not, and I do think it's a relevant point, because the one thing I have been saying consistently, not just this year, I've always said it, but as we're doing YouTube, is never underestimate the power of the 12th man, right? So it's been very important having that. And tomorrow, I'm telling you now, the City fans are up for it. But the most important thing is the City players are up for it. Manchester United, and I've said this, the other thing, as well as Casemiro having a good game, the other thing that's very important for me from Man United's point of view is Man United's fans get it. Man United's fans are passionate about wanting to win this cup final, not just for a trophy, but also, you know, to stop their noisy neighbours, right? But can Ten Hag get that into this group of players? Or in this group of players, I mean, Rashford's a Manchester boy. He won't have to get it into him. But majorly, not too many of these Man United fans will be even caring about the fact that they're stopping a treble. Like, what does that mean to them? Not much, really. So can Ten Hag get that into them? Back to you, Sam. Where are you with it and tomorrow?
I feel like the history we've had in like high stake games, I don't think as City fans we can go in with like 100% confidence because of like the Tottenham game we had years ago, because of the Real Madrid recently. So
yeah,
I'm not feeling 100% confident, but I feel like we've got the 51% chance here, especially as you mentioned with the fans. Like the Etihad's just different this season.
Yeah.
The
Did
South
you just say 50%?
I said 51. Slightly above, just because I'm still a little bit shaky, and I also don't want to get clowned if I go, oh, this is all us, and then we get absolutely handed to us.
Yeah.
But I feel like the 12th man, the South Stand lot, they will be going down in there.
Yeah, they are.
In their numbers. We'll make our presence known, and I don't think in any aspect we have anything to shy away from United, whether it's their heritage that they like to talk about so much. I think I'm confident going into it, but never too much.
Can I ask you a question? Who do you think will start, Ake or Akanji?
I think I'm gonna go with Akanji purely because of recent form. I feel like Ake overall would be the better choice, and I feel like for the Champions League final, he'd go in. But to step into the second part of a treble, having been out recently, you need a little bit of momentum for that. So I feel like I'd prefer Akanji off the left side than have John Stones going in from off the right.
Yeah.
Why I think Ake?
Sorry, and you're going with Stones over Walker.
Oh wait! Oh no! I'm in my Premier League.
I'm sorry. What do you mean? What do you mean Stones over? I thought that they're gonna be Stones and Rodri in the middle.
What, and then play Walker as part of a back three?
Yeah, I'm saying back three of like
of course, that's what's gonna happen, and it's gonna be either Akanji or Diaz on the or Ake on the left. This is the choice. I thought there's no other choice.
Bro, there was a period where we were playing.
That there's gonna be Gundogan as well next to Rodri.
No. There was a period where we were playing Ake, Akanji, Diaz, Stones. Ake, Akanji, Diaz, Stones, and then Stones inverts.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So basically,
there was a period where we were playing that.
Still three in the back, but
you got to remember Walker only started getting a look when Real Madrid popped up. Before that, we were playing Ake, Akanji, Diaz, Stones. Yeah. Do we go back to that, or now is it a Walker thing because of Rashford?
I'm thinking. Yeah, I did misspeak. I'm feeling to put Walker in there. Walker was only in for the Real Madrid game because of Vinicius.
Yeah. And
he dealt with that perfectly. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going Walker to start on the right side of the defence.
Okay. And
how do you feel about the goalkeeper situation? The Edison and what's the other guy's name?
Ortega.
How do you feel about it? From Pep said, I'm going to stick to my cup guy. He's going to play. As a fan, do you feel that was like kind of like naive, or you trust Pep? Would you have done that? Would you have done that, or you'd have played Edison?
I think I would have done that. I think the fact that you can go through an entire cup run without conceding a goal, I feel like it's disrespectful to Ortega for him to not be in goal. I feel like with the games he's played, he's done absolutely everything to earn his spot, to finish out this cup run.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like he should be in for it. Edison's shot stopping, it's been questioned, but overall, if you have your head on, then you know his shot stopping is still very good.
Yeah.
But Ortega has done more than enough for him to be in there. I don't think Pep will go into this with any naivety. No. He's been here for what, 8 years now, 7, 8 years. He's got everything he needs to, and Ortega in there, I have 100% confidence in him.
I mean, look, Mo, so I don't know if you know this, Ortega in the cup hasn't conceded a goal this season.
Yeah. I've been told this morning.
So we've gone through the whole FA Cup, and apparently I heard this morning as well that if we don't concede a goal tomorrow,
it's the first one ever.
No. Preston North End and Bury back in the kind of, I think, early 1900s or something like that did it. So yeah.
Okay, so Sam, just last thing, because we're really going for 2 hours now, and I need to get there are other callers in. Champions League final, what are your feelings about that?
Same with mine on the final for tomorrow. I'm going in thinking we are the better side. We're going in with the more momentum, will depend on how tomorrow goes.
Can I interject here and ask you, have you watched Inter at all this year, or you're just going through with what media is saying?
I'm not going to lie to you and say I've been tapped into the Serie A this season, but also the media, but they're going to twist things and blow some stuff out of proportion. I say we go into the better side purely because I've watched City and Inter, and I'm giving it City, but I'm saying I don't think there's a single team on earth that is has as much quality as we've had this season.
Do you know what? Hold on.
Let him talk.
No, because I don't like this. Mo. It's almost like you're. Because, by the way, let me answer you. I haven't watched Inter Milan once this season. Okay, I haven't watched Inter Milan.
I thought we did together. Didn't we together watch it?
I don't believe so. No, you're here for the World Cup. But let's flip this back on Mo, shall we? Mo.
Yeah.
So you've asked that question. Yeah, you've asked the question. Has he? But do you think Inter Milan are better than are?
100? No.
Right. So what was the point in the question?
Oh, here's my thing, because it's not a bait or anything. It's just a question, because I've been asked by the people that support Serie A and don't watch a lot of Premier Leagues, and a lot of them were saying to me, "We're so good, we are amazing, we are better." And I'm like, "Have you watched City?" And they say, okay. "Well, like in the Champions League only, and they have been good against Real Madrid only in the second game." And I'm like, "Have you watched them in the league? Do you ever watch the Premier League?" They say, "Yeah, we'll watch the big games," and they lost to Spurs. I'm like, so exactly, the Italian media is telling you this, and the English media is telling you this.
Yeah.
But until you watch the other team and know exactly who you're facing, like if someone told me that this City team, but they only got 89 points, so they're not as good as last year. Have you watched them in the last 2 months?
Yeah.
Have you literally? But that's why I'm asking. Like people are telling me that Lautaro is now as good. He's great. He's fantastic. Better than, like, he is one of the top strikers. Have you watched Haaland? Have you watched Julian Alvarez? Lautaro is good. Yes, he has been really good in the last 2 months. But do you watch the other teams as well? And that's my point. Because someone like me and Daps know that, because I watch every single Inter game, and probably I watch every single City.
Yeah, that's why I can't really talk to you about Inter at all, Mo. You need to educate me on Inter. But let us get over this this hurdle that is tomorrow, and then you can because I have no doubt that the way that you lot play probably will be something different for us. And someone made a really good point earlier that the Champions League game is the type of game that Pep could do something weird on, because
he said he doesn't know. My point is, he said, I just started watching tapes because he didn't have time. That season was so busy for him that he had no time to study.
But he has got his 2 guys that do that though.
But I think this season, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Sam, here, there is in me, I have this feeling that Pep found the right formula
Absolutely.
And he doesn't have to think. You know what I mean? It
The
just
line
it picks
does have
itself.
to think.
It picks itself. He doesn't have to think. It picks itself.
Absolutely. The lineup.
Of course
chooses
you
itself.
change. Of course you change based on the other team. Walker, Stones, here and there, inside, outside. But the formula itself doesn't need tinkering. It just doesn't.
No way. I don't think this season is any like overthinking time at all. It's Bernardo right wing. I think that's the only questionable thing. Everything else chooses itself. So does Bernardo. But the only tiny argument is Riyad to go, but it 100% chooses
I
itself.
agree with you on that. The Riyad one's an interesting conversation as well.
I don't
Sorry
think
guys, I removed
in
the
form.
link. People are asking for the link. I really removed the link. We have to. If you wanted to be on the show, just early, turn on the notification button so you would know when we go live, because we still have 2 callers and we're closing in 2 hours, which is too long. Go ahead, Sam. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I don't think Riyad gets even a look in. I think the only person who's been more on the bench this season is Foden, and he's not going to start. That's only later in a game to affect it. I doubt if Riyad would even come on.
So I like Riyad more than Bernardo, actually. That's
Really?
just personal preference.
I don't think he's going into it with nearly enough.
You know why? Because I think if Riyad plays against Real Madrid the first game away, you might have won the game.
No. Mo, do you know what? In that game, I get it, because all the way through the second half, from half time, me and Steve kept saying, this looks like it needs Foden or Mahrez, or even Alvarez, someone more direct, right? But I think there's a reason why Pep, and this is the thing, there's a reason why Pep was happy with the draw there, because we had total control. Bernardo Silva gives us control. He allows, because there were times in that game where City were happy just moving the ball about in the middle and not risking, because when you're playing, and this is where tomorrow might be key as well, when you're playing against a team like Real Madrid, that for me, someone said Real Madrid aren't as well equipped to counter as Man United are. Now, I completely disagree. I think Real Madrid are one of the best teams in world football at countering. They counter and they transition so quickly. And I think with Bernardo, we've got that. Bernardo's going to get back, and he's going to trap back. He's going to win the ball back. Mahrez is not doing that.
Yeah.
So if Man United try and counter us tomorrow, Bernardo Silva will be very important. If Mahrez is on the pitch, he's not offering that tracking back at all.
Fair point. But anyway, Sam, anything else you want to add? I gotta move to.
No, just saying, like, full confidence in the team. The nerves are kicking in, but I fully back us. No score prediction. I'm not risking it, but yeah, thank you for having me on.
No,
Thank
thanks
you so
for coming
much.
on. Try and
Appreciate
come on more. Really appreciate the support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Next caller, I think we talked on the phone last time. It's Hanno, coach.
Hi, guys.
Hi,
how are you doing? We spoke
good,
before,
thank you.
didn't we?
Where are you calling from?
Sure. I'm from South Africa.
Okay.
Chelsea.
Fantastic.
How are you?
Who do you
How
support?
How are you? Chelsea.
Chelsea. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So what do you want to talk about? Like,
first, Daps, I want to ask you, Kovacic, where does he fit in really with you?
So do you know what the mad thing is? Do you know a few years ago where we were linked? Can you remember when we were due to be buying? Is it I always get it wrong. Jorginho. Is it Jorginho?
Jorginho,
yeah, Jorginho. So we were due to be buying Jorginho from Napoli, right? But then he ended up going to you. That summer, we were actually linked with Højbjerg and Kovacic. And Pep came out and said, not the right fit, I'll wait. And then the next season, we got Rodri. So we actually were linked with Kovacic several years ago. But I'm a big fan of him. And do you know, there's one game that I'll always remember because I went to. It was Chelsea v Aston Villa. Towards the start of last season, and there was this one move that Kovacic did to put Lukaku through that was phenomenal. The way he got the ball back, facing his own goal, just outside his own area. He turned 2 players and thread of a needle, or whatever the term is, ball straight through to Lukaku to run onto. I'm a big fan of Kovacic. I don't think he's but I do not think he's a Gundogan replacement. I think he's more of a he's more of a Bernardo Silva replacement, but I don't think that means necessarily that Bernardo's going, because I think if you give Pep a group of midfielders, he'll make it work. And I think that's the way it is, that we don't know yet. And that's the beauty of this. It's a type of move I want to see in this transfer window. I want to see City. I want to be surprised by who we're buying and go into next season thinking, okay, I want to see what magic Pep can work with this. So look at the price as well. The price looks like it's going to be about 30 million. That's good. My only concern is his injuries this season. He's been quite injured for you. But how do you feel about it?
It's been good for us. That Champions League run, it was good. This season is down tools completely. Sometimes it just looks like it's not 100% there. Doesn't want to give it, especially after Tuchel got sacked. So I'm happy for him that he's moved there. I don't think he's going to be a world beater at City, transform your whole team, or something like that. You guys already got the fundamentals. It's just going to be that next piece. If you need to rest a player for a Champions League game, something like that.
I think that's the thing, though. Do you know? Right. If we were to have bought Jude Bellingham this summer, I said this at the time. Let me be clear and go on record. If we could have had any midfielder, Jude Bellingham would probably be in my top 5 midfielders that I'd want. Yeah. So I'm not trying to say I don't want Jude Bellingham because he's going to another club. However, I said at the time, if Jude Bellingham came to Manchester City, does he change Manchester City in any way? And he wouldn't change Manchester City in any way. I think that's where Manchester City are at the moment, that we just need more cogs in the machine. We just need, like, if we lose Bernardo or Gundogan, we just need a couple more midfielders of a certain quality to come in and keep it ticking. Haaland's a game changer. Rodri, I'd say, is very important. But yeah, so let's move on to your club, though. So far, are you sad to see any of the players that you're seeing linked away? Are you sad to see any of that, or are you kind of think it's time that some move on?
I think it's time for some to move on. The Mason Mounts one hits a bit. It hits a bit, of course.
It hurts.
But I'm not,
yeah.
It hurts a bit, but I'm not going to be crying over him.
Yeah.
It is a good squad player. And for United, it's going to be the same. It's going to be back up to Bruno unless Tenok revives his career. But yeah, for me, Havertz away. If Real Madrid want him, sell him immediately. First offer, off the books.
Well, don't even ask for more. Just take it. Snap their hand off.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. I don't. It surprises me. Because I'm looking at Madrid's midfield, right? I'm looking at Vinicius. I'm looking at Rodrigo. I'm trying to think where Havertz fits into this Real Madrid system, and
I think he might be a stopgap, like between Benzima and Mbappe. But
I think that must be it. I think you're right. I think that must be it, right, Mo? It must be that, right? That he's a stopgap until they get Mbappe or
Real Madrid.
else.
Havertz is not a striker.
No, I know he isn't. But what I'm trying to say is,
they're gonna sign a striker. They're gonna sign a striker.
So where is Havertz playing for Real Madrid?
I think he plays off the right instead of Rodrigo being a second, like Asensio.
Asensio's going. So it'd be
Asensio's leaving. Yeah, he plays on the because you remember Real Madrid when they play the right side. If it's not Rodrigo, it's the other guy, the Uruguayan guy. The names are out of my head now. Valverde. So he's a midfielder. Yeah. So he plays behind the striker. I don't think Havertz he's never going to be a striker, and we're actually not sure. We're not sure if that's actually real, the Kai Havertz to Real Madrid thing.
Really?
I don't know.
It
I
does
don't
seem
see
weird
it.
to me. It seems weird as hell. But
It is kind of a weird move for me, but maybe it's agenda. Maybe Chelsea paid Fabrizio to make that happen. You know,
what to drum up some?
Yeah, I swear I won't rule things out like this in this day and age.
I know what you mean.
Anyway.
Anyway, really appreciate you calling on. We need to keep it moving because we haven't got too many left. Anything else you want to talk on quickly?
Quickly, FA Cup. I'm going to back you for this weekend, Daps. But next weekend, Mo, we need you guys to win that Champions League.
Oh my God, it's the world. I did not realize it's the world against Man United. Maybe I should change.
No, what it is, that is it. It's that what it is that all the other big teams in England, Mo, they don't mind City winning the FA Cup. They're cool with that because we've won them before, right? We've won them recently. We've won the league recently. So they're all fine with that. It's just most of them have this one trophy that's bragging rights over us, the Champions League. Chelsea can tell us, we've got a Champions League, you haven't. Everyone has, right? And that's why I always ask them. And I always say to them, look, I'm more than happy with you cheering us on this weekend. I'm more than happy with you cheering us on in the title race against Arsenal. But I need you to sign up and cheer us on in the Champions League. If not, I don't want to know. Don't pick and choose. Keep it moving.
Into all the way. But hopefully I'm going to watch you into this weekend. Hopefully you guys start to play so I can see what's going on.
You are going to watch Inter this weekend?
Yeah, hopefully.
In Italy?
No, not in Italy. On TV.
Okay. The whole team that is going to play this week is kind of a sub player.
About.
It's not going to be the same,
Well,
but yeah.
I hope you
Enjoy.
do. I really appreciate you calling in, and hopefully we'll speak again soon. Cheers. Thanks a lot for waiting.
The last one is Haruna Salim, of course.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hey, thanks for waiting. Appreciate you waiting.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. I just closed some work as well, so yeah.
So what are you tuning from? Yeah.
I'm calling from from the US VA.
The what?
US
or UAE?
Yeah. No, USA.
USA.
Yeah.
Whereabouts? You might be near Mo.
I'm in Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little bit north than me.
Yeah.
A little bit. Not too far though, is it?
I mean, it's pretty far. It's like maybe 3 hours flight.
Yeah, but that's not too far in America terms, is it?
I mean, okay, yeah, makes sense.
3-4 hours in America is not too far. I mean, here, listen, that's far, but over there. And do you support an English team?
Oh no, I mean, I support Barcelona, but I was gonna speak on like the Champions League final, and I think
ahead.
Personally for me, I think
hold on. First though, let's talk on Barcelona. Would you be happy to get Gundogan?
I mean, I would be, but it's kind of like it's luxury. I think we need to replace Busquets. Not replace him, but get someone that can play the 4. And I think we need the right back as well. I think we have more priority. Nah, I think it's just I don't think we'll get him. Yeah, I don't think we'd get him.
Well, I've got. If we win the Champions League, you can have. Well, no, either way. I'll tell you what. You can have Laporte and Cancelo. Yeah. If we can have De Jong.
Yeah, we can have Laporte actually. No, De Jong. Don't do that.
A straight swap, no cash. You can have Laporte and Cancelo. Listen, that's over 100 million's worth of players. You can have them both for De Jong. Shake on it now.
I mean, we can get the guy from I think is it Villarreal, Pau Torres. You know, much cheaper. Yeah, so it's kind of like there's no point of buying a very expensive defender.
All right, well, don't sell De Jong to Man United then. That's
no, for sure. He's probably going to stay.
Yes.
But
so
regarding the final, I was just saying that, I mean, I've Pep as coach in Barcelona, and I think the reason why he struggled in most of this, this last games in Champions League is because I think he's probably overthinking it. And it's probably also because he hasn't really trusted a lot of players over his career. I think the last time he's trusted his full 11, it's in Barcelona, with Xavi, Iniesta, and all the great players. He didn't have to micromanage them, in a lot of times because those guys were football IQ was really high, but since he moved away from there, he had to he does a lot of micromanaging. And this season, if you look at City, for example, I've seen like a lot of interviews where De Bruyne was talking, and you could feel that the players had the freedom to express themselves more, you know, and make kind of decisions on the pitch instead of always following a specific plan as usual from Pep. So I think that's one of the reasons why I think they might win it, and I expect them to win it. But the thing again is like Inter is not as bad as people actually think. I think they have a good team. They have a pretty good midfield. I think the coach is just probably gonna choke the midfield, you know, and have like a lot of bodies there, and they have the energy to do it, you know. They have a pretty decent defense, so I think it's gonna be a tough game, and I expect City to win, but I won't be surprised if Inter does like 1-0 and you know,
Mo,
yeah.
Stop staying silent, right? Because I've noticed.
No,
this.
I'm
It's
sorry.
like
I
you
had
don't- no. It's like you don't want to give anything away about your club, right? It's like you're trying to not speak on this game at all, right? I've noticed it. It's like you don't want to say anything because you think I'm going to bring it back and it's going to bite you in the arse.
no.
right?
I swear, this is just my 5th hour streaming today, and
No, same. But listen, he's just been speaking
know
on
you
your
are-
club.
yeah.
Tell me about your damn club and what I should expect in the Champions League.
You should expect a dominant midfield with Brozovic, Hakan, and Barella. They are.
Yep.
If you want to hear my people don't like that in the English media, but I said before that I have some players in my team. I think they are individually better than some of the City players. But
agree.
Pep Guardiola is miles ahead of Simone Inzaghi. When I mean miles ahead of him.
Yeah.
I think Inter now with Lukaku, I think Lukaku can bully all the defenders at City
Yeah.
team.
Don't play
Each and
Jacob,
every-
please. Yeah, don't play
like-
Jacob. Yeah. Don't
like
play
everything,
Jacob.
like in this Lukaku that played in the last month at Inter is unstoppable.
What is bullying Ruben Diaz? Yeah?
He's way bigger than Ruben Diaz. I think he's faster than
Is he
him.
big? I said he's bullying him.
I think yes. I think he is someone who can do that. If we play to our strength, my problem is that our defense is kind of old. Other than Bastoni, like Darmian is 32.
Yeah, but you don't play high line, so like it wouldn't matter too much.
We actually sometimes do, but I don't think we will do this game.
Exactly. So it
we
shouldn't
are
matter
really
too
good in stopping crosses. I think. I just think
That's fine. I
that
don't like when we spam the box with crosses anyway.
sometimes Pep does this, and I don't
Yeah,
think it's
I'm not
gonna
a fan
work
of it.
against us that much.
Yeah.
I think on the counter, it's Lukaku and Lautaro against the 3 defenders, which exactly what Madrid
I mean,
did.
Lautaro is not really fast, so I don't know.
He isn't. It's gonna be on
Yeah.
Lukaku.
Yeah.
But to be honest, if it wasn't Pep Guardiola coaching this Man City, which is if that is not realistic,
Yeah.
I would back my team more. The problem is Pep got this team the last 2 months. They are scary.
Yeah. He really
Very
trusts them
scary.
as well. Yeah.
When
He's
it
like,
clicks, it's a very strange brand of football that I've never seen because it has so many ways to destroy you. It's not
Yeah.
something that you can sit and say, I'm gonna hit you on the counter, and no, you won't, because sometimes he will let you have the ball. And my problem with that is that Inter play in the league, and we weren't great this year, and we haven't. I said Benfica, Porto, Milan. They aren't Real Madrid, but even though I would probably say that Benfica is stronger than Real Madrid this year, this is just my opinion.
but don't you think also like Inzaghi, like towards the end of the season, he saw that like there was no hope in the league, and he just focused more, because if you look at the like
Yeah, but remember we were playing
better.
we were playing for top 4, so he had to think and get it right. Otherwise,
true. Yeah.
You are putting all your eggs in one basket, and that didn't work. We are physically, we aren't like the most fit team. Like we have players that can only last for so much. This is my problem, because they played so much and we don't have the depth that other teams have. That's one of the things. But
I mean, even the depth, I think even the bench, I think is okay, because like look at the last match against Milan, Brozovic came from the bench, So I think you have pretty good team. You know, as do
you remember
difference
Liverpool
is
last
just
year? I'm afraid of what happened against Liverpool last year, which is we dominated Liverpool in the first game, dominated the midfield. They couldn't get close to Brozovic, and then they just scored 2 goals, and we lost 2-0. And at the end, the
yeah,
result
well,
said 2-0, but we literally had hit the bar in the beginning. We created some chances and we missed.
yeah, but you know,
And
like Pep's teams, for example, which is like one of my criticism about him, and that's probably why he hasn't won a Champions League outside Barcelona. Is like his game is always to dominate. You know, it's just now that we're seeing a different type of
yeah, not this
Pep's
year,
sort of,
which is the
Not this
problem.
season.
exactly, yeah,
Which
yeah,
is the problem that I
yeah,
keep
yeah.
telling
So,
people.
No,
yeah,
it's something that I've
He
said earlier
figured it
on.
out. He figured it
It's
out.
it's
yeah, he figured
something.
out, yeah,
There's 2 things. I think firstly there is the fact that he seems more willing to sometimes say it's fine to not have 100% possession. This
true.
season is fine. You know, that's not the stat that everyone goes to. We could have 90% possession and lose. And I think
And that's my point, right? Like,
but I think the other thing I was just going to say is I honestly think that when he's gone and look, we've always played with Cancelo or Walker bombing forward and inverting a little bit. But when people say we've always, the role of our inverting fullback has changed. Whereas before, it would be Cancelo wasn't so much inverting and holding, he was inverting and making runs forward. Whereas with Stones, he's inverting and he's holding. He's sat with Rodri. When we get into a team's half, him and Rodri, and before Stones, it was Rico Lewis. They would sit and they would control the tempo of the game, passing the ball from the left to the right. But I honestly think with John Stones, he stumbled across having 4 centre-backs and how important having 4 centre-backs can be against top teams. Not against other teams, but against top teams. It means that when they try and counter you, no longer do we have Cancelo, who maybe is a little bit weak defensively. We've got 4 centre-backs that all know how to defend. And I think that's the difference, that this season, we're less liable to counterattacks. We really are, since not this season, this second half of the season.
I agree also, and I think like that's part of the mistake he's been doing in previous years. You know, trying to just control the game. The reality is, like, not everyone is going to have Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets, which most of the time they have the ball. Like, you can't actually get the ball off them, right? So I think he's learned that, okay, we can't actually dominate the games every time. So maybe sometimes we just have to just sit back and take in the pressure, which he's done very well, and play different styles, counter attack, controlling the game, using the fullbacks and different options he has. So yeah, I expect City to win, but it's just like you can't just look past Inter. Like Inter, I won't be surprised if they cause an upset.
Let me ask
honestly.
you something, as someone who doesn't support Premier League or Serie A. Do you think Inter have more chances against City than Man United against City tomorrow?
I think Inter has more chance.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
Because,
I think I watched the last. I think the show yesterday, and you spoke about Barcelona and the charges. I mean, we have charges like every year, so it's kind of like
oh no, but did you see? Yeah, I know a lot of
I wasn't on that
fans,
show. Don't hold me accountable for that one, okay? I wasn't there.
A lot of people didn't like what I said, apparently, and all I said is something that I read online.
No, I saw it, but like the point is, like, it's Barcelona. We have charges like every year. Like, it's pretty normal. It's like,
No, but
we'll be fine.
This
We'll figure it out. Like,
no. This is not financial fair play. UEFA are investigating
but
influencing the referees.
Yeah, but that's my point.
Completely
Like,
difference.
Yeah, but the case actually came from La Liga, right? And the case was about this, like, a ref, like they're paying his company for some services.
You definitely did this. This is.
I mean, yeah, but the point is, for me, it's like it's up. I know my club is corrupt. Like, I'm not even going to sit here and be like,
no. But this level, to get an employee, create a company, and get this guy hired to consult for Barcelona while he's still hired by the referee commission. Like, come on, just give me a committee. Like, give me a break. This is different.
Yeah, but the issue is, like, most of these cases, right? It's kind of like at the end of the day, they'll just, because for UEFA, at the end of the day, like, the most important thing for them is just to make more money. So,
Thank you.
They'll
right.
think about like, okay, if Barcelona is out of the Champions League, how much good does it do for you? You know?
Yeah, but
Because
that's the problem.
Yeah.
Here's the problem with Barcelona, which is, I think this is what people don't understand. You don't have the same weight as before.
I think we do actually.
Not commercially, which is when
I
you
think
went
I
to
think I
Europa
think we
League,
do. Yeah.
it didn't matter as much because you don't have. You have to remember that you don't have a name that people don't tune into Barcelona games to watch a certain name like before. Like Real Madrid, it's Vini, Benzima. They still have the names. You don't. Like even Lewandowski.
Yeah, but
isn't
you know the problem is like with Barcelona, there's a cultural effect to Barcelona. You know, it's Catalan. You know, and so the whole Catalan population would always support Barcelona, and that's why even this season we actually broke our record attendance. Like on average, we're averaging like 80,000 per match. You know, even in La Liga games. So
yeah,
it's
but
kind of like
that's completely different because
there's a
UEFA cares
cultural.
about TV rights. So UEFA cares about TV rights, and I'm telling you from an American, you're like me. It's ESPN, right?
Yeah.
For me, look at La Liga on ESPN. They don't have the good numbers for viewers because La Liga
no, for sure. Yeah, for sure. No,
died
but like
a little bit.
Yeah, but even way back, like Premier League has always had more like you know viewership.
No, not when Messi.
Yeah.
When Messi and Ronaldo were in
I think
La Liga,
it was mostly just El Clasico games, you know, or maybe with Atletico Madrid. But like if Barcelona was playing Elche,
you remember beIN Sports in America lived on La Liga, on Ronaldo and Messi. And when Messi left, they were happy to give that right away. But anyway, that's for a different thing because I'm not a lawyer, but all I know is that I'm just reporting what the media is saying.
Oh no, yeah, it's a this thing, but I think they'll just probably just find them. It's just the usual thing they do. You know, it's not the first time. And the thing also you have to realize that it's not only like a lot of teams in Europe actually pay for refereeing services, whether you agree with it or like whether you agree with it or not. Like teams actually do pay for it, so it's kind of like it's not like something that is new, you know. But I think it's just the way they went about it, you know. Like Barcelona, like, sometimes we just complicate matters, you know, like just make stupid payments and you know,
100%. But anyway, thank you so much for calling as usual.
All
Next
right,
time,
thank you
try
so
to
much.
call in early. Turn on the notification button so you will know that when we go live, you call in early.
Oh yeah, sure, for sure.
Okay.
All right,
thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for calling. Really appreciate it.
Bye.
So, people, Daps, you want to tell the people something about tomorrow? There is a show.
Tomorrow, Cass and I, we're going to be going live at about 10:30 in the morning. It's going to be called, I think, it's going to be called Match Day Nerves, I think I'm going to call it. It's going to be me and Cass just giving that one last rundown on the game, how we feel. I'm already nervous, bro. So, but yeah,
we'll see how it is. May the best team wins.
Well, no, if the best team, may the best team wins. Because if the best team wins, then Man City win. But listen, it's been one hell of a show. 2 hours 15 minutes, one of the longest yet.
Yeah, and thank you guys for being here and sticking with us. Hit that like button if you
hit the like on the way out, people. Any of you that are here, please, not in the live chat. When the show finishes, just quickly go on the YouTube page and drop a comment on it, please.
Drop any comment, please.
Even if it's the score tomorrow, or even if it's say Daps, stop wearing that stupid hat.
I want to see 100 comments, please. After the show is done, just go to the YouTube page and just any comment. We'd really appreciate it.
And to any Manchester City or Manchester United fan travelling from anywhere around the UK or globally to the FA Cup final tomorrow, safe travels, and people behave. Behave. Listen, there's going to be a lot of family and kids there, so grown men act like grown men in it. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you, guys.